Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Challenger 2023 Spring. I'm Atlas, joined by Chronically here. And, yeah, Timmy05, I'm not sure about the burger sauce flavored hot cross buns, but thank you very much for the reminder. Greatly appreciate it. Really good news from back home there. I know.
What are hot cross buns?
Hot cross buns, it's like an Easter type food. And it's normally with sultanas, and it's like a sweet bread, and it's got a cross
like
on
raisins?
the top. Yeah.
Okay.
Like a raisin bread thing.
That sounds nice.
Normally, yeah, it's really nice, and you butter it up, and you toast it a little bit, and it's really delicious. But with burger sauce, it sounds revolting. So kind of happy that I'm here in Korea. Welcome, everyone, to the Challenger broadcast. Hope you guys enjoyed yesterday's show. Wolf and Valdez almost got the six-game dream.
You mean the 9-game dream?
Sorry, they almost got the. We've already done the 9-game dream, so we haven't ticked off the 6-gamer yet. So still haven't, as it turns out.
Well, I think they got didn't they get the 6-gamer the second week? I know we haven't gotten a 6-gamer, but I think there was one.
I don't think there was a 6-gamer. I don't think there have been any 6-gamers.
Chronicle, what do you use in your hair to make it? Well, I don't know. Because the
other
makeup department does it for me.
Yeah.
I know which products I use, but I don't know if I can. You can DM me on any Discord, or I'll gladly tell you. I just don't want to, just throw it out in the open like that. The secrets to my own styling, but you never see that on camera ever, because we have a great makeup department both here and at the LCK.
Yeah, that I never use. Haven't in my 6 years of being
you
here.
do indeed do your own hair. Yeah,
consistently, because I just don't know how you're supposed to do it without it being straight out of the shower, because otherwise the hairdryer doesn't really work, so I get confused. I've sometimes come to work. They have done it for me like twice, and I've been like, yeah, never again. Let's just leave it. Let's have a look at the standings here as KT reigns supreme here in Challenger. They've been doing extraordinarily well. A whole lot of hype to that team, especially in the bottom lane. D+ Kia slumping a little bit more recently, not exactly having the greatest performance yesterday. It was a little bit off, a little bit rough.
Even the matches, even some of the matches that they won, they've looked kind of harder. Cold Poolbay not looking as good as he once did, and makes sense. This team has been in Challenger in this current form for quite a while now, and we often see that some fatigue eventually sets in, as the Challenger regular season can be quite long, and particularly last year, we saw this a lot with 4 single round robins.
Yeah.
Teams eventually just kind of like, okay, well, we're locked in for playoffs, so we can kind of take it easy. Although they didn't look particularly happy. And I also have to admit that Sandbox looks a lot better than they have recently, kind of starting to cash in on some of that potential. Atlas, which is kind of cool. Bro, unfortunately, even with new players, is still right where they were.
Yeah, not exactly. It's not a great time to be a bro leaver if you want them to win, but it's always a good time to be a bro leaver
no matter what.
You just like the team, and everyone does, so it's fine. Our first match, as you can see here on the standings, is actually a really interesting one. DRX versus T1, both of these teams sitting at 6 and 4, very, very even. And so we'll be diving into this one to see whether a sponge or a forest is better in the jungle.
Because we don't know. Do you clean it up or do you become one with it? That is the age-old question that we will have to deal with here today.
It is quite difficult to understand what the best is going to be.
When it comes to the amount of dirt, I can't imagine a simple sponge would be enough, but maybe the DRX sponge will be enough. Maybe he's bringing broomsticks, he's bringing...
I think, he has all of the bells and whistles when it comes to sponging.
just about a sponge as such. It's about the spirit of sponge.
Yeah. No, it's exactly right. Hummer Life Esports versus Nongshim will be after that. Could actually also be a relatively interesting one, as Nongshim are performing a little bit better than expected, especially after most of their roster left to go to the LCK. Hummer Life, though, playing around their Star 80 carry in Lure will be pretty exciting to see. But first, it will be that T1 versus DRX. Technically, an organizational world final rematch.
Correct.
There we go.
In the LCK, this matchup is no longer interesting. It is just a little bit unfortunate, as DRX has lost their entire roster. But this DRX roster, in a slightly modified form, was one of the best teams in Challengers. The problem is that Jun, who, even though the match score hasn't been great, has been doing individually pretty well in Kwangdong, and Kwangdong is still a team that looks much better than the match score as opposed to, say, a Kwangdo or a Nongshim or DRX, who look way worse
Well,
than their individual parts.
This team looks like it's got a forest in the jungle. Dell will be there towards the top side of the map, and then it'll be Bay, Smash, and Bort. No Minas this time around. Bort is in to stay by the looks of things, and honestly, it was a little bit of a sad performance last time out, so kind of glad that Bort is back.
And right on time, we have Papa in the chat, making sure that he keeps track of some of the best individual players.
Yeah, it's
Please
the T1 series. That's what you got to look for. They're always the best.
I've heard that mid laner is really up and coming.
I
Very
really like
unknown quantity.
The top laner that they shipped off to LEC, that they bred themselves, made him into the player that he is. That Photon guy.
Thanks, Atlas. You know
T1.
That doesn't upset me at all when people say that. Much appreciated. It's okay. They're knocked out of the LEC for now, so we won't be seeing much more of Foden, which makes me sad because I love Foden.
He needed to be in T1 for longer. That would have meant that
that would have okay. Well, I'm not gonna. So in case you're wondering, Photon was kind of developed on Gen.G and on Sandbox, and then spent 1 year. But people generally just look at the 1 year on T1, which makes me sad because he was really good before that as well. And Atlas loves bringing that up to upset me greatly, and it's very successful. It's Clear, Sponge, Seiza, Plata, and Piero. A roster that has been playing together for a fair amount of time now. Piero, of course, formerly playing behind June. Sponge playing behind Peach. Peach is tearing it up. We actually recently found out where he went.
Where did he go?
He is in the Prime League on the Unicorns of Love Sexy Edition, where he is getting atrociously big leads in the jungle every single game, which is not shocking.
No, it's not shocking, but it is a bit sad because we need some fresh junglers. When it's Willa that's really starting to tear up the LCK, that's when you know that perhaps we need an extra little bit of...
we need Lucid.
A little bit of something. As well, not Lucid from yesterday. As Bort versus Piero will be our key player matchup. Bit of a support off, which is kind of cool. Both of these players have been playing pretty well. I think Bort has definitely looked like a fantastic player for T1, even if they haven't necessarily been able to pull it together the entire time, and if he hasn't been able to hold on to his spot every time as well. As Piero on the other side, him alongside Flutter, you can see that the champions that they're gravitating towards, relatively different, but that 2-0 on the Nautilus kind of makes me happy, because it makes me feel like maybe we won't have the Zeri Lucian handshakes this time around.
I hope not. We have seen too many of those, but in Challengers we don't diverge as much from the Challengers meta. It is still very different from many another meta. We see that the main LCK is still gladly hopping towards champions like the AD carries, whereas we are for some reason still really respecting Heimerdinger, which he's good, but I don't think he's that good anymore. Personally, no. I don't know if you really want to first a rotation ban him. T1 on the blue side has the possibility to pick up an early Caitlyn here, because right now it's looking. Oh no, this is. I think we're going to see Caitlyn and Ashe ban, and then it's going to be a Lucian Zeri handshake. That's what I'm feeling.
Well, that doesn't sound very exciting. A Varus could exist, and it is going to exist on the ban list here. T1 going to be respecting that one. And now DRX has to ban Ashe, and so then the Caitlyn can get picked up. But Caitlyn doesn't seem to always get snapped up. Like, this could be a Sejuani angle if they would like to.
No, then it's Lucian Zeri.
Well,
yeah, that's the other path, Atlas.
Yeah, it could just happen.
Maybe that's the timeline we're on. I hope not. This is a Sejuani. It's bad news. This is good news.
This is good news.
This is great news.
Yeah, it is. There could be now the Lucian being picked up. We could see a bit of that, but we'll see. Okay, I kind of like the Jhin pick away, just because Jhin Caitlyn can be very powerful. Sponge going to lock away the Sejuani, so we're keeping things up in the air as far as where that Jin's going to be going. It also means no Zeri and no Lucian, which is pretty cool.
It's some Jhin, which I'm fine with. I know you've really kind of changed slowly and become a little bit more accepting of Jhin.
Somewhat. I hate this lane though. This is the worst in the universe. Yeah, there we go. Jhin Karma is actually not good. And they're up against Caitlyn Lux, which does a lot more things as the game goes on.
And early.
Yeah.
In terms of snowballing.
Mid-game can, you know, see a little bit of a dip, but you can rely on your solo lanes to get you through that. And then Caitlyn is still an absolute monster. 3 to 4 items. So far, T1 looking absolutely fantastic in the draft. DRX haven't really got anything yet, as Annie is going to be banned away. Like, that could have been an Annie. Think about, like, Annie Jin doesn't sound that awful.
No, I like it way more.
And then you can flex it.
I love Annie Jin. My one downside is that if you actually do end up playing any support, your lane's gonna be really not good. Annie is, when it comes to the early laning phase, gonna be severely outranged by the Caitlyn and the Lux. But you can flex it, and then you can still pick Karma, I guess, which... It's very tough. Because I can understand not wanting to give over Elise and Challengers, want to give over Maokai, want to give over Ashe. But you don't really have that many options with your bans on red side, which is why blue side right now is very, very good. The one upside for DRX is that actually pulling off a Caitlyn draft can be tough. We have seen the pick be relatively unsuccessful outside of a select few hands, and in those hands it looks really broken. T1 come to mind, Deft come to mind, of course, talking about the LCK teams. But there are possibilities to shut this lane down. It is very execution dependent, and in Challengers in particular, execution-based drafts sometimes fall a little flat.
Yeah, potentially. So far, T1 are 100% win rate on the combo of the Caitlyn and the Lux. So that does, you know, make us a little bit more pleased. This should be a blind Gnar, I guess, or a Scion. That's even more exciting. There we go. We're front to back and real hard.
Yes. Very good. Love that.
Damn.
Yeah.
This is like one of the largest draft gaps I've seen in a really long time.
Do it clear.
Just do it clear. I mean, the draft is a disaster outside of it. You may as well just Olaf the heck out of this Scion. Just do it. I think that there is absolutely no downside to doing this. Absolutely no downside.
Karma. I mind Fiora.
I mean, I guess it's fine. Now they can just play for the Fiora win condition. And if the rest of your draft sucks, then picking something that side lanes by itself, may as well do that.
So I don't love the draft from DRX, but I do think it has the opportunity to try and play towards its strong solo lanes. Play mitigating bot lane and hopefully not fall too far behind. A lot of pressure going to be on Sponge because he wants to play towards his top side, but he has to play towards his bot side so that they don't get dove. Level 3. The one upside is that they should have mid and top prio, barring very early on, where Setab doesn't have the mana yet and Claire needs a couple of levels to really be able to threaten Doll. But once that comes through, should be able to have prio on a lot of skirmish, a lot of objectives, and you need to, because you are not winning the late game in any sort of even 5v5 scenario. You're really looking to really get going early, snowball your Ryze, snowball your Fiora, and then use the pressure that they generate to keep T1 on the back foot, because yeah, straight up front to back, it's not looking so
No,
hard.
it's looking pretty woeful, actually. Conical Newt says, I swear I've seen CTAB in the LCK, and you have. During some of our COVID struggles, we did have to bring up the entirety, almost, of the DRX Challenger team, and they did manage to pick up a victory.
Yeah, that was great.
It was very, very cool. And their Challenger team was, at that point in time, very, very strong as well. So, actually was very, very cute. So, there it is.
Man, I'm really excited about this player, Bay. Wonder what he's going to bring.
Yeah, I know. I feel like he's PCS and international talent, but I'm not entirely sure. I guess we'll have to...
We couldn't possibly know, Atlas.
Yeah, no, we couldn't possibly know, except that we do, and he is. But let's rock out for a bit, shall we? Hell yeah, get your doo-doo-doos out there, everyone. Here we are onto the Rift for game number 1, T1 versus DRX. T1, an absolute clobbering already in the draft. Dal is going to be standing on top of a ward. Lumberjack skin as well. Absolutely love it. One of my personal favorites. So we're just feeling really good about everything that T1 has done so far. I have a very, very personal hatred for Jin Karma, so I will never say that a draft that involves those two champions together in a lane is ever good. And, you know, I would apologize, but I'm just not that sorry. The value for the Sejuani also not super high, but can work around clear relatively well.
Can I introduce you to Sorry Not Sorry?
Sorry Not Sorry?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know about Sorry Not Sorry.
Yeah, but you're saying you want to apologize, but also you're not actually sorry. So I thought in that case...
It is technically a Sorry Not Sorry.
With the good old Sorry Not Sorry. Could have been great.
I could have done that. I had an opportunity.
Well, now in the future. Maybe it's more at the forefront of your mind.
I have definitely said it before. So perhaps it is soon going to be a time to say it again.
It doesn't sound like a thing you would say. It would sound like a thing that I would say jokingly, and then you'd be like, God, what are you saying, Chronicler?
All right. Well, DRX's bottom lane, weirdly enough, they are actually able to pick up control of the wave, even if they haven't managed to win out on the health trades. And as the levels start coming through, should be all right. I mean, Jin Karma can win lanes like this in certain situations, and the level 1 is always, it's a Karma lane. But it just shouldn't be the case as the game goes on.
No, eventually the issue is you're also down to Combat Summoner, because obviously Plata with the cleanse is going to be able to stay alive a lot better versus what the Caitlyn and Lux lane loves to do. But the downside is that you won't have healed. So the amount of effective health available is still very large. Just Force looking for an early timing here. Should not come as a surprise. Early, but pretty standard timer. We've seen this one a lot.
Yeah,
flashes are available, and we do see Sponge making his way over.
He is walking down. Let's see whether they can get this timing working. As Losing Singularity will connect. Piero going to have to flash. There's the flash immediately afterwards. Bot really going for this as first blood goes to the Caitlyn, but immediately it is answered. And now it's a 2v2. Sponge, can he keep himself alive for long enough is the question as Vaultbreaker comes in. The flash forward, it's not enough. Peacemaker will be able to lock it down as now Smash is going to be taken out. It's a triple kill at 3 minutes into the game.
Well, Plata feeling a little bit better than he might have otherwise in this matchup, because in these early levels, this is where you do see the power of the lane come through, and now Smash and Bout are going to be in a tough spot. They knew that Sejuani was coming. This was on vision. This was not surprising, just a really clean flash there from Piero, and T1 going in very, very aggressive. Yes, Force is PTA, so your burst is impeccable, but still the amount of damage it takes to kill Sejuani this early on is still very tough to do, and if Jin can get off multiple 4th-shot rotations, things are not good. And now he has Swifties and 2 longswords, and that is going to make the impact of Smash and Bout lane a lot less. He also has double buffs, and he still has both summoners.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts. The Plata is just able to chill out and pick up a triple kill that could change this lane's outcome just a little.
And if he goes for what I hope will be a crit build with an early LDR, then he actually will be able to, because a Jin behind the curve does nothing to Sign. Just nothing happens. But Jin is one of those AD carries where if you do get ahead, actually does still have a surprising amount of burst, and with the rest of the setup, then all of a sudden, also when cut down, might be able to actually chew through Dahl's health bar, because Dahl does have to itemize, and Mar as well as... I get that we want to shut down the Jin, but we definitely should not be taking 3v3s.
Yeah, but what about the double buffs, though? Okay, they're going to avoid everything. Piero taking a lot of damage here, as Plata is still full health, of course, so he's the one that you really need to worry about. This wave being taken care of by both teams should equalize one more time. A possible gank opportunity onto this Karma, who does have at least the Ignite back available, but for similar story. And let's have a look at the rest of the map, shall we? As Saytab doing very well here in this mid lane. Bay just chilling out, being an Azir. Dal absorbing pressure as much as he can, but right now Clear has a very large lead. We've seen Scions have better times than this into the Fiora matchup, so Clear definitely, shout-outs to him for a good early game.
Doing quite a good job there. Also, Dal still holding on to its teleport, so we'll be fine at least for now, but needs to be careful he doesn't get too low. Is the possibility for an early dive.
Yeah, Emperor's Divide does come through here. Good Vault Breaker as Saytab's going to flash. Sponge holding position. Oh, I really like that in case they overextended, but they didn't have the vision, and they're not going to do so. So, Flash going to be picked up, and it should mean now that Bay, next time he has the ultimate, can just collect himself a Rise and grab the money.
Very similar to what we have seen in the past with the Victor matchup, and also the reason why we don't like that matchup a lot is this exact thing happening. Gets shuffled in, and now on every subsequent play, particularly when Forrest is going to be able to get himself his ultimate, you just kind of die. And it's not going to be a good time. This ultimate from Dalda to make sure that
High value.
Doesn't have to invest his teleport and is able to pick himself up most of that wave. Downside is obviously that the T1 bot lane, Caitlyn picked up 2 kills, which is great, but you're getting none of the snowballing. And ever since the item changes, I personally feel like the Caitlyn power trough is not that big of a deal anymore. It's not that bad anymore because you're able to get into like your big crit items a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So you don't have to snowball as hard. But if you're behind, then that doesn't really matter, right? Because you still will then have the same issue. Because you can be even, that's fine. You should be ahead, but if you're even, it's better than before. If you're behind, not so much.
Yeah. Well, first Drake is going to go over to DRX. Next one going to be an Infernal. Certainly one worth fighting for in 5 minutes' time. We'll see whether T1 are going to be able to do so. I like how even this game is, though, because I feel like if you start the game 3-0 on Jin, it's kind of like an even matchup.
I was about to cut you some slack and be like, hey, we don't even have to pretend that this is a good representation of the matchup because it's an 80 carry with early kills.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But you already did that yourself.
I know, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Very nice. I appreciate it.
All right, well, they're going to look for a little bit of a back timing here. We'll see what Pleta is going to pick up. Does have the fleet footwork, so probably going to go towards some sort of crit item. And it looks like that is going to be the case. Probably going to be a Gale Force, much to the chagrin of a specific person in chat that has a very, very, very powerful opinion about how to build Jin. I personally don't. I think that the best way to build Jin is to not pick him.
I would love to see the Kraken Slayer build that we've heard about. We haven't actually seen in pro play yet. It seems like a great opportunity, as good as any to pick that up, but don't feel like that is what we're going to be able to get ourselves here. Sponge getting an early Herald, and DRX, they definitely need to get some pressure going early. So far looking good. Individual lanes not looking too bad as boy.
There's that Empress Divide that we were talking about. Satab's going to try and run it out for their cease and desist. Life Binding's real nice too, and Bot is even going to pick up the kill. Well deserved. For the Lux, wasn't able to pick up any of the joy from the bottom side of the map, so good to see. As DRX, yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You're a no-flash Rise.
Yeah. Not that much that you can do, but I'd say worth, probably. You still got the Herald.
Squish, we're really sorry. I don't know why we are here for you.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Let's talk. We can talk about the replay if you want, but it's not that important, is it?
It's a Rise without flash. You really hit the nail on that. He probably would have lived if it was only 2 people here, but with Baud also there, no shot that he's ever getting out. And obviously, he didn't have reinforcements because Piero and Sponge were taking the objective. So now up to Sponge to find a good place to place down this Herald and claw back their way into the gold lead, because after that mid kill, they are now in a deficit. Also see that over 80 carries sitting on a pretty sizable bounty here.
Feeling pretty good. We'll see whether Smash can get over the hump that was the early stage of the game, or whether Pleta can find some angles here to utilize his correct item purchase in his Noon Quiver that he should be turning into a Gale Force at any moment. Love that. Absolutely fantastic. As Bort goes back, and he's got some shoes, ready to make his way out towards this rift. And this plate could actually go down, and that is not what you're expecting out of this sort of lane. And so there we go. Gonna get that plate gold. Feeling pretty good, as Satab needs to be somewhat careful. Control Ward goes over. Sponge is over here, does have the Eye of the Herald at the ready. As Forrest going to face check him, ignore him entirely.
Hello.
As Bort does not find that one, but like, let's just do it again, shall we? Flash has to be used one more time. They still manage to pick up the kill. And T1, they can just rinse and repeat and do this one more time if they'd like to. Oh dear.
Just keep going for it. There's nothing that they can do. As you point out, as long as, and now Satab actually did flash. and he still died. So, not looking too hot in that regard. Ooh, Smash might be in trouble here.
Yeah, Smash wanting to try and get a kill back here, but is going to be able to find a fair bit of damage. Here's the Lux gank. You love to see it. All right, can the Light Binding land is the question. He's trying to get out of the way of this one. He will need to flash.
Yeah, Plata was already up to, there's a 4th shot, and this is a fed Jin. Oh, God.
Oh, God. That is a lot of flashing going on. As the shield comes down, Sponge is like, can I come and sponge up some of these kills?
Sponge him.
Oh, Forest is foresting, though. And he might be able to find him. There is a bit of a deterrence as the Rift Herald goes down. Shelly should be able to grab a bunch of plate money here for the DRX bottom lane, as well as himself. And yeah, so DRX definitely playing this one out very nicely. The gold advantage that they had in the early game has been somewhat mitigated by the mid lane plays. Let's have a look at these shenanigans one more time.
Smash actually doing a great job. Early heal, able to net away to make sure that the last 2 shots don't hit him. But then this play by Bot is a little over-enthusiastic. If he doesn't have the 100 to 0 damage, which right now isn't quite the case, you can't walk up to that Jin. Plata not flashing here is what in the end will keep Smash alive. Although, of course, had to deal with the reload. And we do see that Smash in the end was still forced to use his summoners, and now Guild Force is done.
Yeah, there we go. Correct item choice here for the Jin. Absolutely fantastic stuff.
There was a dagger, though.
Oncov F asks, Ant chance for DRX?
I haven't seen a new Ant-Man. I've heard it's not that great, unfortunately.
I heard they're introducing the new bad guy.
The new villain is great.
Apparently he's awesome, but he was also already introduced somewhat in...
Kind of, but that was a different multiverse version of him. But I did watch Loki. It was actually quite cool. Yeah. But that's a dagger, so this is probably going to be rapid fire again in a second, which I don't love into
huge fan. I just love daggers. Big
This
fan
is why
of
Jin gets a bad rap, man.
Well, yeah. Well, for that and, you know, the other reasons. Still, DRX are going to be able to push this wave through.
But you kind of eased up on the...
The Jin hate?
Yeah.
Not Jin Karma.
Ah, okay.
I cannot. I will not be okay with Jin Karma. Because I'm okay with, like, defensive pressure absorption tactics.
Jin.
But like just giving up entirely on being able to win is just not really what I like. Is Clear is going to convince this Scion to leave, and Dal is going to leave by way of the enemy turret. And so with 10 seconds to go, he's going to grab himself some plates. Has to flash here. Quite interesting, as the riposte is going to come through. Not sure about the flash entirely, but perhaps Clear could have ran him down.
Also doesn't have a lot of vision, so might be thinking that Sponge is there, and if Clear is able to proc a few more vitals, even if he's able to stay alive for the initial play, then could have a dive come through. But he did get 2 plates of that, so I think it's a pretty big win.
Yeah, that was huge. I think he also, did he take the Krugs? Deny the Krugs? He was hitting Krugs, and then also was proxying away.
The extra damage from eating Guildsmith on the turret and then the Demolish proc was very strong. Well done.
Heck yeah. And now, the gold, entirely even. Setab wanting to take this turret down if he can, as T1. Look to focus on Shirley, see whether she can be convinced to go down. As Setab moving back towards this top side. Losing Singularity just to buy some space. I like the zoning capabilities of this T1 roster with the Lux and the Caitlyn. Is now Clear looking to wrap around. There's the Eye of the Herald, but can they win the ensuing fight is the question. Is now Piero possibly going to get singled out, but now Forrest has left his team alone. Port trying to get away, but he's not going to be able to. The Karma is just too big. And now they're continuing to fight, but look at DRX, they're so low. Bay trying to catch up, and he will be able to get one. But now he may have overextended. Q is barely going to hit onto Clear, is now standing in front of this curtain call. Oh no! Oh, Dal, why? Why would you do that? He's your only mid laner. Oh, that was very sad. That was very, very sad. But Pleta going to continue his reign of destruction on this map.
Bit of chaos. If you're a Challenger fan, that's nothing new. If you're not, you might be wondering, what, how, why, what's going on? Well, that's just how we do things here. The turret selection in this fight is suboptimal. to say the least. This is actually a 5v5. Sip uses Realm Warp, nicely done. And then we have effectively 2 fights. So the top half of the fight is Spladak getting targeted by Bay and Forest and able to stay alive. On the other end, we have Smash getting zoned away and Fiora really trying to do a number on the enemy. But Caitlyn actually is able to get out regardless, so a lot of time wasted there. And then with the stopwatch and Forrest able to still pick up the kill on the Rise, a lot of time is wasted. And I know that Dahl wasn't able to catch that shot, but I also think if he does, then Clear probably kills both of them.
Yeah, maybe they all die.
So a bit messy. In the end, T1 win because they get, I think, 1 additional kill and they got the mid lane turret.
Oh yeah.
So they're feeling good.
Got themselves Herald. I think it was even on kills.
Might have been even. I lost a bit of track in the match because we know that Bay died.
Yeah.
And Bout died.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, Satep died, Piero died. And
did Piero die?
I think.
Because
Piero
killed
pieced
Bot.
out. Yeah, no, it was just Satep and Sponge.
Accurate. Where's Jarvan Atlas Chronicle?
He's being ignored, which I don't know why, because on this patch he's good enough that he's getting nerfed the next patch, and I actually think he's quite strong. And you can build him in a bunch of different ways. Yeah, that's our duo name at the moment. It sounds like Roman Chronicler.
Chronicless.
Yeah. Now, that sounded like something out of Age of Mythology, which I'm kind of down with.
Yeah, I'm totally down with it.
Yeah, wow. Or Age of Empires.
Feeling good about
works.
that. Yeah. Or the name of a persona in Persona
I'm pretty sure
5.
these guys are bots.
Yeah, no, we definitely are. 100%. If there's anything that you'd like to upload into our script via our algorithm, the way to do that is to type something in Twitch chat that we might want to read, and then it'll be uploaded forever. Just to allow you guys to have a little bit of control over the broadcast. Cosmic Panda, I don't know yet. I'm only like 30 hours in, so I'm not ready to settle down just yet.
Mine was Futaba.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not up to her yet, but maybe.
I don't know.
I thought I was going to be a Makoto guy, but I don't think I'm going to be a Makoto guy.
That's where I started off as well. Yeah, but I moved away. Can Chronicler cast the next team fight? I can, but I think we'll save that for later tonight. What kind of LCK is this? This is LCK Challengers, the other variation of LCK. Well, you might know the LCK out in the wild with players such as Faker and Chovy and Dundun. On the other end, we have
Bay
Challengers.
And Forest.
With players like Bay and Forest, and up until last year, also Dundun.
Thanks to you, Equacy. And Quid, yes, the Kips.
Can't believe Forest with it made it on the team.
Good job to him, indeed. And Vincenzo Yachts, you're exactly right. It's a great name. The Cease and Desist is going to come through. Pleta is in a bit of trouble, but he's Jin, the best champion in the game, and so therefore he's going to be dead. Never mind. Sponge taking a fair bit of damage here. I think like the Jin, if he did more than like half the damage, he may have been able to help get the kill under Forest.
That's not on. That's not on Jin though. I'm fine with criticizing Jin for his position in this draft, for giving him flack for not building the right second item. I'm okay with that. But which AD carry? Tell me which AD carry lives here and does more? Tell me. Look at this and tell me.
Oh, Piero. It was a savior play. Really beautiful stuff.
Which AD carry is fine here?
Oh, he had his 4th shot. Feels bad.
But yeah, the rapid fire cannon is definitely a mistake.
Zeri would have been fun. Zeri just flashes to the wall. He's over.
Maybe?
Easy. She's totally fine.
But Zeri wouldn't have gotten as far ahead this game as Jin would have. I think Zeri wins that early skirmish. Kai'Sa would have lived for sure. Xayah is probably the only one.
Vayne?
Yeah.
Vayne? There we go. That's God tier. Love that. You'd
how
have to,
Vayne
like, cease and desist has to come through, and
Tristana, yeah, Tristana's a good one.
You ult, tumble, condemn to deny the Vault Breaker. You might survive that.
Maybe.
Ult, Q, and pray.
I would have lived. Nice.
Uzi's Vayne would have lived, 100%. From 20.
Tristana, yeah, Tristana can W away.
Yeah. I mean,
Game state is rapidly deteriorating, and I know I was trying to defend the Jin, which...
I mean, now you can't because
Well,
he built really bad
Yeah,
items.
okay, so I'm actually being very much let down in that regard.
Yeah.
But also...
Cogmore
no!
with passive, there you go, does way more.
Yeah, but
True
he
damage,
still
baby.
dies.
Absolutely. But he'll kill the vibe.
I do think that now, with what we're looking at, the game is pretty unsalvageable for DRX.
Ooh, Ezreal
So-
could have repositioned the Vial somewhere else.
True.
There we go.
And Ezreal Karma actually doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, that's a
Although
real
I do,
lane.
I know we're memeing partially. I do think that lane will have a lot more difficult into Lux Caitlyn nonetheless. But
Slimy
that's
D
okay.
has a good point about maybe the AD carry shouldn't walk into Fog of War for no reason.
Okay, well, we're not focusing on him making a mistake, okay? We're just focusing on the champions.
Well, here's a seasoned assist. Tab flashes
Ooh.
underneath his turret. He's done that a few times so far, as Forest takes way too much damage there, standing underneath the turret. Bort's going to come on over. We'll see whether they actually do manage to get the kill, but it looks like the answer's going to be no, as Clear clears out the top lane outer turret. Sorry about the pun.
Yeah, I know
Entirely unintentional.
Caps had some incredible W buffers onto Malrong. Oh, they're just starting Baron. I love this, actually. This
Yeah,
is great. Bey doesn't have TP. This might be gone.
It's taking a lot of damage.
I think it's gone.
Well,
Yeah,
we'll
I don't...
see whether Dal can deter them here as Bort's going to make his way in. That's a great Glacial Prison. Final Spark comes in. They do secure the Baron. As now, the flash from the Scion. They take down the Sejuani. They need to get as many kills as possible here to deny these Barons, but only 2 will come through. And DRX, the heist is complete.
Pretty good. You'll take it. Setup and Sponge not having the best of times, unfortunately, in this game. But they get the Baron. Nice Baron call. Is it enough? Well, we asked ourselves that question every day, and I'm going to say no. No, I don't think it is. We do have clear, and that's good. I'm also wondering, is this like... So is this because it's red? Baron power play.
Oh, God.
It's still positive, right? Yeah, he's fine. He's chilling. He's just sighing. He's vibing. Wait.
That was very funny.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at the copy pasta.
I mean, I was laughing at that earlier, as I guess we can read that one. I confused Valdez for you yesterday. He asked me to wear glasses. It told me you wear glasses, but Valdez doesn't, and you're always on the right for the camera, but Valdez is always on the left. Can you please confirm? What?
I'm very confused.
I don't understand.
But that's the beauty of chat. As nicely done by Doll here. Really? Is this an MVP-worthy performance? We ask ourselves. Probably not, because probably Forest is going to get it.
Who
because,
else do you vote for, though?
Well, Forest. Yeah, we have exactly 2 types of forests in T1. Because you might think of T1 as a country, and they have 2 types of forest. The type where Forest gets POG.
Old growth?
Or the type where Forest does not get POG and is somewhat of a detriment to his team. You never really know which forest you're getting when you load in.
If you were to reference them to like actual forests that exist, like what kind of forests are each of the forests?
So one is jungle, which is treacherous and dangerous. That's the risky forest.
Ah, so like Amazon?
Sure.
Uh-huh. And what's the other one? Like a beautiful, lovely
Like a lovely
forest?
fairy tale type meadow, yeah.
Ah, glorious.
Hullbreaker done? Ooh, not quite. That might be a turning point. Maybe then Claire can 1v9 hard enough to win the game.
We'll see. Of course, these things are always possible for a Fiora. She does generally 1v9 relatively effectively. Almost has the 1v9 item completed. T1 just chilling though for now. They know that they just need to find a 5v5, and then everything will be a-okay. Okay, Cease and Desist is going to come through. Tab is going to get caught out. He tanks a lot of damage, but he will die eventually. Forest has done his job, but he's still going to be able to make it out of there. As Smash is just walking after people. You love to see it, the aggression from this guy. Really cool stuff. As T1, they managed to collect 1 kill, but the rest of DRX do get out, and now Baron is bearing down on their inner turret. This one is not going to last too much longer, and there it goes. And ultimately, kind of all right for DRX, weirdly enough.
The overall Baron power play was minus 630, which makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And Doll's really been doing a lot of
Could be
weird
worse.
stutter stepping. It really is all about, does clear 1v9? And with how one-sided the fights are and how good the T1 composition is at hard engaging, I don't see it. because they can just keep doing this. This isn't even flash, this isn't even like anything crazy, this is just a good engage from Forest.
And then Dal like ults to nowhere.
Yeah, well Dal's not having best team
great experience. But like,
he's
I mean, as the game goes on,
experience.
Yeah, as the game goes on, like Dal will be way more useful, and Pleta, for the same reason, is going to be basically useless. And so just be Scion, just exist for a while, and then eventually you'll be unkillable.
Yeah, Pleta does have LDR second, which if he went that,
well, third.
Well, yeah.
Are we not
if he went
including
that,
Rapid Fire Cannon as an item?
No, and if he went that second and then LDR, he might have been okay, but he didn't. So I don't think Dal's gonna die in any of the fights because we also don't have any shred on Setab. So does Fiora 1v9? My guess, Challenger's gonna be no.
Yeah.
I'm saying no, I don't think that'll happen.
I mean, Clear did lose to Split Push in the summer final of Challenger, so maybe.
Wasn't him. That was D+.
Oh, it was D+, it was.
Yeah.
But didn't they also lost to Nongshim on the way?
They did lose, yeah. Actually,
but it probably
was actually
Split Push.
T1 who lost to Nongshim, if I remember correctly. That was how they made their miracle run. Which was still kind of baffling. So maybe Clear, watch some of those vaults and just hide in this brush and they'll all pass you. Oh, no, they're going to know now.
Yep.
But you do have Rise as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 0-5 Rise power spike has been hit.
Well, I mean, he's just an ultimate. As Clear might be in trouble.
Maybe in trouble.
But
there
we
are
don't
a lot
know.
of bad guys. That was very strange, whatever just happened there. But he's still dead. There we go. Now the rest of DRX are trying to utilize this by pushing the mid lane turret. Dal standing in front of it here. You can see Jin desperately trying to do a thing, and that's a kill they can get. All right, never mind. Smash is going to overextend into DRX. Pleta has just been shooting this Scion over and over again. Not quite working out as bought, not doing a whole lot of damage, but they do have a little bit back as, okay, the Vi does eventually fall. Pleta able to pick that one up. He needs to go back to hitting Dal.
He's playing kind of clean, no?
He is definitely making the most out of his Jin.
Yeah, that's tough.
All right, so 2 for 2 in the end, but DRX get control. They will go on over and collect this dragon. So denying the Ocean Soul,
winnable.
Kind of a big deal.
Winnable, one might ask.
Yeah.
Well, Pleta's going to be closer to an IE.
Ooh.
This was very sad because Clear needs to play far up, but his team has no pressure. Fuddy was fine here.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah, so I think what happened is he Fuddy, otherwise he would riposte, right? But then he got like knocked into the wall, but he couldn't, so he just went the other way. It's kind of like a bouncy house kind of deal.
Yeah.
So they don't kill Dal that well, but it was all a bait as Sponge throws a really nice ultimate there. And then, as we see, Pleta's still not going to do a very good job against Dal, but Forest is building bruiser items. So Forest definitely is killable, as we see there. 650 on the final shot, feeling good about that one. And all of a sudden, we are reminded that we are watching Challengers, and we could not have any conceit.
Oh, that's another cease and desist. Don't know whether this is exactly the optimal target. They are going to throw everything into the Sejuani, and they will get the kill. Now, the train going to come through as Setab going to get knocked up, but everybody else loses interest in killing the Rise. Piero comes on over. He will slow down the Scion.
Yeah, but now what? Do you go Nash? That seems somewhat risky. Can do that.
Oh, you 100% go Nash.
Yes, but you will get poked down, and there is also Fiora that you need to deal with.
Well, they need to kill the Baron kind of like ASAP-ish, as that's a flash forward from Setab. Bay, Emperor's Divide comes in, and Smash might die. Setab goes golden, and Smash will be able to grab that kill. Clear is going to take an inhibitor, but T1, they really want this Baron. They're going to see if they can find that as Pleta, unable to kill bot, but only barely.
Oh my god!
We're going for a base race. The Baron for base trade could be happening here, as now they just need to stop the backs. They should be able to do so as well.
No!
Oh, it's just a naked Nexus, as Smash has managed to make it back, and that should be a dead clear. So, they trade inhibitor, inhibitor turret, and 2 Nexus turrets for a Baron.
Oh, baby, that's some challenges right there, Atlas. Woo! That was not the best decision, G1. Fumbling a little bit under the pressure. Setab definitely way overexcited. Also, Zonya's against, or Stopwatch against Lux Caitlyn is Batman. But all they really need to do is just stay alive, right? Which is what Piero and Plata try their best here. If Bout dies there, like this is even worse. This could have been, and ends up dying in the end there with the W. That's crazy. I was like, what happened to Lux? And now we know. And then Plata, yeah, sure, does end up going down, but who cares? Because you got an inhib and you got no Nexus turrets left. So every time now that clears up.
I think it was Setab. Yeah, I'm
It's
with
the 06
Serrano here. It's just the Giga Brain play, the full bait play, like 0-6 rise power spike.
He's been leading up to this the entire game. That's the real cool part.
He's 0-6 so that Pleta could get 6 kills this game.
Well, Plata actually does do decent damage now. If he has a couple of seconds, which he won't get, because we talk a lot about Jhin because it's funny and because it's a bit more of a divisive champion. But Smash is very, 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 very fat, and he is Caitlyn. So no one survives, really, unless Claire can like get on top of him, but that
doesn't
should
have
never
LDR
happen.
and isn't going to build it by the looks of things. It looks like it's going to be a GA.
No, there's not that much resistances. The only thing is Hullbreaker, really. Might have gotten away with
Sejuani.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be straight with you. I don't think Sponge lives even without LDR.
Yeah,
like,
he's only got a couple of items and Sunfire Cape, so not the tankiest. Although Frost Armor is a thing.
It's okay. But you also have a Bay who is...
Well, there's another cease and desist. Forest is just making sure that ultimate is on cooldown as much as possible. And I love it.
DRX is going to probably, with the positioning as it is, have first move towards Dragon. Should be able to set themselves up.
Yeah.
We know there is no Vi ultimate.
That was not the one you wanted to get hit by. There's a Gale Force. Forest might just die. Goes down to his GA. Now Piero, wow, one shot, does a third. And now we're just going to check out the top lane for some reason as Sponge, yeah, like you were saying, does still take too much damage there from the Caitlyn. That looked like it was pretty good.
And the real scary thing is that if you ever leave your base, Setab is a level 16 rise. Like, he can realm warp right in. So we do see that T1 has a lot of defensive vision to kind of counteract this, but it also means that contesting any objective it's really scary, Atlas.
It is somewhat difficult. And now we've got a bunch of pings going out, especially towards that top side. As
yeah, they're going to let this go. Oh, it's going to be a soul flip into an elder flip.
Oh, you love to see it. All right, that is going to be evened Ocean Drakes. I think T1 they will refuse to fight until their inhibit is back up again.
The real scary thing is that even with the inhib up, it's...
No, it doesn't take much killing, does it?
No, well, for Fiora of Hullbreaker and level 17, no, it will be very, very swift. So T1, I think, have the better comp for 5v5, but also they can't leave their base, really.
Nope.
So, like, what do you do? And a real funny question is, like, even though Plata's currently 6-2 we're gonna end up voting Fiora if DRX somehow wins this game, right?
Like, I'm voting Setab, probably.
That's what's about to happen.
It's probably Setab for me. I just feel like he's the one making all the decisions. I think that it's him.
Explains a lot about his play. It's all part of a plan.
Yeah. Because like, it's not about whether he lives or dies in the mid lane and stuff like that, or whether he's like 50 CS down or not. Like, it's about whether Setab tells his team to do all of their sweet macro calls that they're doing.
That they've been doing this whole game.
Yeah.
Wow.
As Smash, it's been a bit of a stinker for Smash, to be perfectly honest. His positioning has been suboptimal in a lot of times. Is now clearly going to get discovered here, but not really too much is going to happen.
He made the mid one was that was the bad one.
Yeah, that was a bit of a whoopsie.
Outside of that, I think he's been okay. I was still leaning Forest. Forest to me is kind of the main character of this game, for better or for worse. So do you actually contest this Nash? because you really want to, because you don't want to give them Nash, as now Shojin Jun for clear as well. But can you actually? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like DRX should be able to win. They're in a pretty good position for, you know, the Fiora will just win the game type outcome. But I never really know.
So
There's
who
20
do you think
seconds
wins
on
this
the
game?
Baron. Who do I think wins this game?
Yeah. Because I'm saying DRX.
Yeah, I think DRX.
I don't think that any challenger team knows how to deal with split pushing at all.
No. But I also think that no challenger team knows how to split push.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it is double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah, but you don't even really have to split push, you just have to get into the base with Realm Walk. But you're also with me, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is perplexing. We'll see whether Clear is just going to wait it out and then just push this turret, force T1 to go back. The rest of DRX can just take a free Baron.
Smash per chance, looking for a tasty red buff.
Ooh, does have that GA now complete.
Okay, now he won't because Clear is here.
Yeah, Dal definitely going to be able to stop the Fiora. Does have Thornmail. I guess that's a thing. But is a full item behind.
I don't think it'll really matter. So there's two people here.
Yeah, there are.
But
That
Clear
should mean
probably...
Baron. Their Baron is not the fastest.
That's Stormrazor.
Okay, interesting. All right.
That's new. Can't remember seeing Stormrazor Jin in quite a long time.
Yeah, we saw Stormrazor picked up in the LCK actually relatively recently. It was like a 6th item. But that's an odd one. All right, they're going to intercept the Forest. He may have just thrown this one, but does do a lot of damage to Pletter, and there is the kill from the Caitlyn. Emperor's Divide comes down as well, but you can see there is a Fiora in the bottom lane, and that is a huge problem. Piero taking a bunch as Clear's just running it towards this inhibitor. Should be able to grab it. And Dow's like, I'm just a slow lumberjack. But Clear will make it out, but not going to be able to end the game as the Baron also still alive. Okay, Dow's going to try for this one. Riposte comes through. It means that's now on cooldown, and the autos will rain down. So T1, they will be able to win out on that one pretty considerably, and we'll see whether it means that they can actually put themselves in a winning position.
Well, because with Fiora down, really nice cancel there, by the way, from Dahl as well on the ultimate to make sure he didn't actually smash into the riposting Fiora. If Smash died there, at least they would have gotten the GA. Wasn't the case. Got down to what, like sub 100 health, and now they might just win. And that might just be the end of it, which feels very anticlimactic. But I don't
both have teleports. Are there any wards there?
No, and they would also have to get through the entire bottom half. Because that's the closest wave to TP2, but maybe they can fight with 5?
Well, there's a flash from Bay. Emperor's Divide comes through. That was not exactly optimally timed, and he's going to die. That is going to be the kill going over to the Jin. And now the curtains are being called. There is the Realm Warp as well as Dal just standing his ground, needing to defend. As Sponge dashing forward, Forest on vision. As that's a great light binding. Little knock up there as Dal does have his ultimate available. And here are the teleports that you were talking about.
They're running!
Yeah, the Lumberjack going to make his way back down.
No, that's game.
Yeah, it should just be. I don't know whether they can actually defend this as DRX. They got the inhibitor before, then they managed to respawn to kill the enemy Nexus. You love to see it. Oh man, that was a challenger. That was a big old challenger, wasn't it?
Oh, Bay. Okay, so I don't want to go into hard on Bay because I do actually agree. They need to end the game right there.
Yeah.
It's just that was not the play. You know, I don't want to, but I have to. Yeah, no. You can spread it.
I'm definitely not going there. It has to be this.
Atlas is kind of debating whether or not he should vote for Jin.
No, I was definitely not debating that. That thought never even came into my mind. He'd probably still win it. But still, that was a bit of a suboptimal move towards the end there, but a very difficult game to play out as Jin did a lot of damage that game. I guess if you start off 3-0, anything's possible, Chronicler.
I'm not going to respond to your needless Jin slander. I thought that it was a great game from Pleta, showcasing why he was one of the most consistent AD carries last year in Challengers. But in the end, it feels like an unresolved, unrewarding ending. It's T1 with what should have been a game end, then get little ahead of themselves and immediately lose the game.
The thing that was beautiful about
Like,
it, though,
what did we learn?
we learned that Fiora is still a by herself win condition.
Yes.
The rest of your draft can be terrible. As long as you have Fiora, there is always a way out.
And so is Rise, because the Realm Warp actually came in big in a couple of moments there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Pleta played some good League of Legends, even on a suboptimal champion.
Did we really learn something? I don't know. I'm not so sure, Atlas.
I mean, I learned that there are ways for Jin Karma to not be completely and utterly useless.
Just be good and get a triple early?
No, get a triple in the first 3 minutes of the game. That is the rule. If you do that, champion's brilliant. Champion combo, fantastic. And they actually did manage to get the push.
I love
They managed to get the push against the Caitlyn Lux, which should never happen. That is illegal. But still, I think I'm being a little bit facetious because it was very well played.
And also, you're sitting against probably one of the staunchest Jin defenders, so I know you, Atlas. You got to make use of the time that you have.
Exactly.
And when looking at this game, DRX won, but if this is a 2-0, it'll be because of tilt, not because there is a clearly better team here.
And Clear is going to pick it up. There it is. The 1-3-1 Fiora. You love to see it. That's the style of play. That was also how they played the game. They just 1-3-1 to victory.
Hilarious, perfect KDA here for Clear. But maybe it is just, maybe we just should be locking Fiora and Jax every time and try to emulate Jundun. Maybe that's just the best way to win any Challengers game. Because this keeps happening, Atlas.
Yeah.
It just keeps happening.
And if the enemy team isn't good at reacting to you,
which none of them are because it's Challengers,
yeah, then you just automatically win. And it's also a fantastic skill to learn because split push also is something that our LCK teams don't do enough of and don't actually manage to leverage very effectively.
Don't like Fiora building Hillbreaker and then immediately joining the rest of the team to fight?
I mean, that is one of the things that keeps me up at night.
Oh, you know, everyone everyone in chat, can we give a couple of claps to our
16,500 damage to structures.
Observer. I want some claps. I want some love being thrown Yundo's way. He is a big part of the LCK broadcast, but also of Challengers. There we go. Look at that.
KDA player, absolutely.
Good job.
I love that.
Good job, chat. Yeah, so this is the opposite. Clear knew he had one job, and that's all he did this game. That's all he needed to do this game.
Yeah. He did extraordinarily well, but it was not clean, and I'm hoping that we do see some different drafting to come through from the next game. As Smash picks up his first loss on the Fiora as well. We are going to go to a short break. When we get back, game number 2, T1's Revenge, or the DRX 2-0. We'll have to find out then.
파랑팀의 억제기가 파괴되었습니다.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Challenger 2023 Spring. I'm Atlas, joined by Chronicler as we get ready for game number 2 between T1 and DRX. DRX making a little bit of a change this time around. They noticed that Satab was spending way too much time perfectly shot calling the game and wasn't actually able to move on past what was a 0-6 scoreline. They have decided to take him out. We now are going to be graced with Starlit.
It's a bit ambiguous phrasing there, Atlas, but Starlit coming in. Exciting to see what this player can bring. From the top of my head, I casted him a few times throughout last year, but didn't really leave a big impression. Was more so the, oh, hey, we're winning, so, you know, let's give our sub a little bit of play. And as we pointed out, Satab not having the best game at all, so maybe giving him a little bit of time off, giving him the time to cool down and bringing in someone else. And when you're DRX and you win the game that way, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because actually it was only clear that really needed to exist.
Well, I think Plata did a good job, but he was Jin, so Atlas will never give him the love that he deserves.
It's one of those things. You could just play a different champion, and then I'll give him all the love that he deserves. I promise you. I assure you.
Should appreciate him no matter his choices, Atlas. I thought Jin was perfectly fine.
I think judging someone based on their choices is an absolutely fine reason to judge.
Well, it depends on the choices being made, and I thought the choice to pick Jin was
who's
okay.
making the choices, because perhaps this was a draft devised by somebody else.
Ah, there you go. It was actually that was Satab. It was actually, now we know.
Yeah.
It was Satab who called, because he was the shot caller, called the Jin to be picked, and then
remember,
I was like, no.
It was Satab that locked in the karma.
Confirmation.
There we go.
Definitely
we figured it out.
Definitely not made up.
We got there.
Definitely not made up by Atlas and I.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
Why are we talking about magical books
truth.
with multi-dimensional travel powers?
Yumi?
Seems pretty cool.
That's my assumption. Did you just say Yumi sounds cool?
No, I said the book sounds cool. Never had any issues with the book. All right, that is in fact Bay, so that is not the substitution that we were looking for here. It's in fact Starlit, so we need to hop over to the other side if we want to see what they're doing. And T1 have selected blue side after the loss. Pretty understandable.
Love that. I think Atlas would be one of those super suave vampires that supposedly hunt Bourbon Street. He could be a super, like 1900s London vampire. I could see it.
I'm pretty keen for that. I'd be down.
I feel like it'd be a good look for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could be the Australian vampire that moved to London, you know, to be part of the shenanigans that are happening there.
Yeah. Something like
Trying to ride the coattails of the rising industry there.
Why would I ride the coattails? I'm a vampire.
Yeah.
You don't ride coattails as a vampire.
Well, you kind of have to. You can't be in the center of attention as a vampire. That's a horrible call.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be riding anyone's coattails.
You don't want to be in the middle of attention.
No, I don't want to be.
Risky.
Not middle of attention. You know, I'm not going to be the center of attention, but I ain't riding no one's coattails.
Okay, well, so that if I was a vampire,
I'm a strong, independent vampire.
I feel like that would be way smarter because you don't want to draw attention to yourself.
It's not, but I'm also...
You're conspicuous enough as it is. You're a vampire.
Exactly, I'm a vampire, so I'm like way too arrogant. Way too arrogant to ride someone's coattails because it's the intelligent move. Not about
I wouldn't
that.
be.
No.
I wonder how... would you be more pronounced in your personality if you're a vampire or not? I wonder if we ever will get the answers to these questions. Not today. Maybe
Apparently
once our II gets a new update.
I don't know what that means, but I appreciate it.
Chronicler is the Mothman. I love bridges and have an underground base of caverns to run west. Sure.
Yeah, I think that
what
sounds...
What does that even mean?
That sounds normal. Let's jump into the draft here, as once again T1 are going to curiously ban Heimerdinger.
I only know Mothman from Shin Megami Tensei.
Do you think that Heimerdinger...
He should not be banned, no.
Yeah, do you think it's better to not have a ban at all? Or
No,
to
I
ban
think
Heimerdinger?
he should ban Jin instead. So they can beam on Caitlyn with no counter pick.
These are the same bans, by the way, guys.
No, it's going to happen again. So, okay, I know we memed a lot about it, and I do agree. I don't love the karma with it, but Caitlyn, to me, is the least evil, because Ashe is worse.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You have to ban Ashe here.
Yes.
There is no way that they're not banning Ashe. And if they don't ban Ashe, then they really want to make sure that Starlit has the worst time ever as he subs in.
Arrogant Vampires is a JoJo's reference. Everything is.
In
for
the
me,
end, it's always a JoJo reference.
Not from Atlas. I don't think he's seen JoJo,
Or
unfortunately.
imagine if DRX, the mind control powers come through, the first pick Jin comes in.
Atlas just
Oh my god.
gets up and leaves. So this is Jin Sejuani, clearly. I think we're going to get a top half run it back from the draft. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, it'd make me really sad because I would really still like to see the flex pick Annie, but I guess we won't.
As like I said, okay. So I was obviously, because I like to be on the I like to play a little bit of devil's advocate when it comes to drafts. But to me, the Jin Karma is extremely underwhelming. But it also feels to me like the least evil choice here, because as Karma, I think, isn't able to really withstand the early pressure of Caitlyn and Lux and able to fight in the same way. And I don't think there's anything that can match the shove with Heimer now no longer available.
I think if you play Caitlyn Lux evenly with the Jin Karma, Caitlyn Lux should win.
I still think they should. Yes, but
of the time.
But we're talking about what loses the least hard, and I don't think there's any other lane that doesn't get pummeled. I don't like it. Again, I want to be up clear about it, because I do really agree with you. The last game was not indicative at all of how the matchup goes. As wow, we are just
That's some more
blinding Silas.
permafrost value. Kind of into that.
Okay, Starlight. That's a risky move, though.
Oh, I would have loved the Taliyah.
Yeah,
Bay is a decent Taliyah player.
The
Been playing
downside,
that one for a while.
The one downside is that Taliyah, outside of specifically Plata, or outside of specifically the Silence, is okay. Not amazing. Don't love it, because ideally you'd be playing into things like the Wukong as well, where you can really negate a lot of the impact. Don't think that's quite going to be the case.
And is this just another Ghost Fiora angle? You kind of smash lane at level 1.
Ooh.
I mean, Clear kind of may as well do it. Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
Gangplank.
love this.
There we go. This is actually
Love
really,
this.
really cool for the top side of DRX.
Now,
I think that it's a dangerous
actually-
lane into Renekton. That's like a bit scary.
Really, I actually, even with the grasp nerfs, I actually think the matchup, barring getting dove early on, and if you don't, if you play your level 1 well and you're able to keep your control of the lane in a place where it should be, I actually love this matchup. Might still be grasp, but we'll end up seeing whether Clear is going to go for the more risky but secure payout bank blank first strike variety or not. But I actually also think it alleviates one of the big issues that you run into, which is post-6 dives on the bot side. Jin Karma into specifically this lane is definitely susceptible to getting dove by 4 man, right? Like a 4-man stack, Taliyah riding the wall, and the Vi coming in. And GP's ultimate is one of the best tools at the very least trying and trade evenly, helping clear the wave. So I love this Gangplank pick a lot. I actually think it completely changes how the rest of the draft played out, because, as I said, as much as I want to defend it and I think it's the least evil, it's still evil. You know, it's like least evil is not a glowing recommendation.
Yeah, it's a pick to not lose, and it's not a pick to win. And you should always be picking to win, generally.
Fair, but regardless of that, the GP.
The thing that I like about the Jin Karma in this composition is that you have clear carries in your mid and top, and they can play around Sejuani really well. So if you're leaving Jin Karma on an island, then you get a lot of value out of moving the Sejuani to the top lane or to the mid lane, and I'm kind of excited about it. I am I'm into it.
The GP, me too. Clear was really good at this champion last year.
Yeah.
Excited to see it. And with the item changes,
was one of his best, right?
He should be in a pretty good spot as well. Just a very well-rounded laner.
Yeah. And he got nerfed a little bit, but that's only because the itemization got so much better for specifically GP. Let's rock out and get into the game. Heck yeah.
Oh, it's bank. Yeah, we're bank planking. To me, the superior choice, the nerfs that were given to Gangplank specifically for his grasp interaction with his Q, which previously, if you're unaware, it counted his Q for grasp as melee.
Yeah.
and it was not okay. He was winning level 1 really hard, and then as a result, because of his power of his passive level 1 plus grasp, it was basically impossible to trade with early, so he got to get control over the first couple of waves, then get a safe crash, have it bounce back to him, and he just never had to take any risks and just skilled for free. And with this build, he might be richer by the time mid-game rolls around, particularly into Renekton. This is still going to be a incredibly valuable keystone, but it does mean that they might be able to actually punish him a little bit more early on. But once you get the 2 items on this Gangplank, things will not be fun for the opponents. You can, if you choose to do so now, go for some truly heinous builds with very early, going Essence Reaver into the... You can go for Prowler's Claw, you can go for the Infinity Edge early on. There's really a ton of options, and all of them are kind of disgusting. As long as you don't go like Sunderer, like just at least with this build he won't, because otherwise why would you pick First Strike? That makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good about this Gangplank. Well, yeah, there's also IE first with double cloak, although that is the Aphelios tech. I don't expect Claire to go for that one. But that was a thing that people did at the beginning of this patch.
Sounds like a lot of cloaks.
That's only
involved.
2. Well, I mean, you
well,
3 in
3,
total.
right?
Yeah.
I remember when Crit Cloak was an item that you just never wanted to build ever on anyone. Oh, that was cute by Dal. Forcing out the barrel. You can see Clear having a pretty good time, but going to have to be playing a little bit back in the early stages. It's Gangplank.
Oh yeah, we're talking now.
You just want to invest.
I forgot about Quick Blades. Yeah, Quick Blades Gangplank is very fun. There's ooh, Sponge. Gonna get a visit here.
Yeah, in goes Forest. Going to get the defensive Arctic Assault here, as Bay's going to rotate over, and this is what you can do with that early control. Sponge just barely didn't have his smite available. As Clear, I don't think... did Dal manage to get that cannon? I think he did. You'd hope so. As Clear manages to get his cannon, and all is right in the world. As once again, Sponge taking a bit of damage here from Forest, as Permafrost comes in, Starlit. Can you actually get any work done onto Bay here is the question. We'll have to see where this seismic shove's going to be. Chains will connect as now Sponge looking for it. Another Permafrost and there's first blood. The value of this combo is just insane. As now Starlit wanting to try and hold on to it. Oh, there it is, Sponge! Picks up the kill. It's a double for DRX. Disastrous start for T1.
Super sub Starlit comes in. Gets shoved in the turret early on, but then has complete faith in his ability to all-in this Taliyah.
Sometimes you get sponged. And that's what happened. Piero's real dead here on the bottom side, but it's okay. Jin is still alive. As Sponge is going to come on down and try and defend his bottom lane. Life Binding will come through here as Sponge taking a lot of damage. Peacemaker will pick up the kill. And yeah, tried to help his bottom lane instead. He's made things difficult, but this is sort of how it's supposed to go. Smash also gets double buffs from that. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's very bad. The saving grace is that this went extremely well. This early on, in particular, I don't even like... Bay does have his E, right? Like, at this point, I'm kind of wondering, does use it there at the end there, but maybe he went... Because I think he levels up there at the end. Maybe he went for 2 points in Q. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like he would have E'd earlier. Might just be the cooldown, because early level Taliyah is just not that good. It's very important to remember that Taliyah was changed substantially with the update. This is just a great catch. About catches his opponent off guard, and then Blada this time around crucially doesn't have the damage to actually take down Smash. Sponge doesn't have Flash, otherwise this is a freebie.
The binding is really well done.
Yeah, both really making sure that this early game is going the way. The fact that Smash gets that kill is like substantially worse as well. So for DRX, that is. But just this is big, but it's not enough, because again, I give a large advantage to the DRX comp when it comes to actually playing out the mid to late stage of the game, right? Like a Silas that gets going early, a GP that sure is going to get shoved in early, he's going to have to really respect his lane opponent, but is going to generate, sad, so much gold as we get into the later stages of the game.
Yeah, no, this is definitely T1 on somewhat of the back foot, just based on composition, but I think the DRX comp it's not the kind that is going to play itself, right? You can see how it's supposed to do great things as the game goes on, but it is still very low range into a Caitlyn. And they're going to have to play around side lanes very effectively. Yes, Talia as well. And the amount of control of the battlefield is actually really scary.
Will be a lot harder than usual.
All right, let's see what he can do here as Cannon Barrage comes in. He's going to try and kite them over it as best he can. Dal will go down, and it's a 1-for-1.
That's not great.
But one more time, the Karma is dead. And yeah, this is, I feel vindicated. Because I feel like this is how the lane is supposed to go.
I don't think either represents a, like, I agree with your earlier assessment. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Caitlyn Lux should win, but in no way, shape, or form should we have 2 triple kills on either of these 80 carries in the first 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That said, this is turning out to be a really big win con.
Is this just bought? Yeah, they just
walk into a trap. Yeah, and then you die into this combo, unfortunately. Not a lot to be done. Doesn't really...
So that actually had nothing to do with the 2v2 whatsoever.
It was a big mistake from Piero.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake there from Piero. So I'm very sorry to those Jin Karma enthusiasts.
You can't, you just can't really walk into unwooded territory like that unless you have your jungler ready to immediately punish, which they did not. Do see Claire going for the expected outcome, and this is kind of, with these kills in bot lane, like the top kill in isolation is fine, right? You trade 1-for-1. Even got most of the wave with his ultimate. Dal doesn't really get accelerated past the point where Claire can't deal with him. But if your bot lane is getting snowballed into high hell and you're going to like drop blades, and you're going to lose early turrets, then GP never gets the time to scale. And then the equation becomes a lot worse for DRX because they do have a lot of parts that are very good once they can get to where they need to be, right? That started with a stacked Rod of Ages. Yep. Claire with a second item. But getting there is going to be substantially tougher, as you pointed out. I think that in terms of team fighting, the composition from DRX does have a lot going for them because, again, the Gangplank to me saves a lot of the range issues that they have and how weak they can be to hard engage if Forest and Forest and Dal rather get into the back line. But that is only working when Gangplank is relevant. And if he gets 2-tapped by a monstrously fat Caitlyn, then none of that is really going to matter.
Yeah, and right now he's down, what, 28 CS? And that's probably too far behind for comfort. Like, we expect him to be behind, but I think that Dal is playing this matchup out very well and pushing his advantage quite effectively. As you can see, Clear is just... I mean, I don't think he's going to die.
Yeah, but
it's about how far ahead Dal can get.
Yeah, but look, it's only 300 gold.
Oh,
because
God.
Of gang, that's Gangplank. That's Gangplank. Well, yeah, it's that plus first strike.
That's also a Glacial Prison, as now we're going to cease and desist, but it may not be enough. They've traded 1-for-1 as far as supports, and now Pleta trying to get involved. Sponge doing a lot of work here, and there's the explosion. The captive audience working out beautifully here, as Deadly Flourish does not find the mark. This could be huge for DRX, because this was T1's power point on the map.
That's so big. That Pleta gets, of all people, gets the kill?
Yeah.
With the trap there, that's humongous. And this time, it's Bout that walks into a trap set by DRX. As initially it looks like, oh, yeah, that's fine. Can walk up there, and then there's the chain, right? Like, immediately Captive Audience. Sponge with a really well-timed play there, finds the ultimate. And then... Yeah, God, this is so well done. Like, Pleta gets his 4th shot off, gets the extra movement speed, walks out, then flashes to make sure he stays alive, and then gets the kill with the proc on his trap.
I'm confused. Why is Denunciator being mean to us?
Isn't that just for memes? Is that not just what happens?
Oh, wait, no, it's just copy pasta. It's always copy pasta.
It's always a copy pasta. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, the casters were better yesterday. But that's all right, because they were the 3 series. So you get more of those.
You get more of them.
Yeah. But we apologize. We'll try to be better.
No, I won't.
Well, I mean...
I'm not going to try and be better.
I'm going to say that we'll try to be better.
Ah.
Yeah, I have no intention of actually doing it.
I was worried for a second.
But we're the B team, and so it's sort of obvious. As that is another dead Karma.
Piero, you have flash, my friend.
Yeah.
Very, very sad game from Piero here. Is making us really respect our kind of validate our own experiences in solo queue playing against Lux Cape, which is nice.
Yep. I mean, there's that. That is the positive that we can look towards here is Smash and Bot going to push this wave towards the turret. I have a feeling that it hasn't really, no plates have been taken or anything like that. So it's not exactly classic Caitlyn Lux gaming at this point in time. Piero is going to make his way back. Sponge in the area as there's the first plate that does go down for T1. More control vision being taken here as the Rift Herald is going to pop on down.
Renekton is up 30 CS and it's like 200 gold. Bang plank, man.
Oh dear. Well, let's see what DRX can do as there is a point-blank ulti as in goes the mid laner. Starlet going to be able to pick up a bit of damage, but Piero's once again going to fall down. Decent Winter's Wrath to try and stop Smash. Great flash as well to get out of the way of the light binding. But still, a lot of value being picked up here by T1. Not going to stop the onslaught, and they get another kill on this Karma.
Very messy. I don't know about moving up here, though. This seems a bit optimistic to me. Starlet is still a pretty strong Sylas. We do have Piero on his way as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, these health bars are a little low to my liking. Bay is really strong, though, in scenarios like this, and Doll's moving over as well, so should be okay here.
Well, Piero's going to come back. Let's see whether they can actually win a teamfight is the question, as Bay, those rock placements, really beautiful stuff. And now, Sponge, looking for an opportunity. Not going to go overly aggressive or anything like that. You can see Clear just happily pushes the wave out, and he'll go back home. See what items are going to be coming through next. Let's check out the replay here.
Oh, you had Ignite from Kiara here as well. If they find the Ignite on Forest, I think he dies. Right, like ends up going this low. With the Ignite, would have been, I think, enough. At the very least, you would have gotten a vision of him. Instead, you have a fat Smash that didn't die immediately because it wasn't the focal point, right?
He's 6-1-0.
Yeah.
My goodness, it's an extremely fed Caitlyn
yeah,
this time.
But it's Challenger Saddle, so like we still have no idea what is about to happen in this game. I feel like it might come down to a Gangplank play eventually. Gangplank versus Caitlyn, like who can carry harder. Should be the 6-1 Kate, but what do I know?
Yeah.
What do we know?
I feel like in this particular circumstance, T1 are in a very good position. Because Caitlyn is going to be very, very difficult to deal with. And if she's that strong, it really does change how this game is supposed to go. However, Smash has found himself in some unfortunate positions in previous games. So we'll have to see how tidy the gameplay is going to be.
Also, still
the T180 carry.
Yeah, still doesn't have cleanse. And last game that was a problem, as we saw.
Yeah.
Now he does have Bay this time around, and Talia E is very, very good, but still not going to stop you from getting 100 to 0. Because Pleda, as much as we meme his Jin, we do actually see the value of the pick in how a lot of these skirmishes play out, right? With him using the Deadly Flourish to ensure follow-up, even though in the previous skirmish it wasn't quite being enough. But that doesn't really... That's nice, and it's well done, and they play around it well, but it's not really comparable to a Caitlyn that is about to finish an Infinity Edge at like 16 minutes.
Ooh, Starlet. Okay, let's see what's going to happen here as another Glacial Prison flies down. Bay goes golden. Starlet probably going to die as he avoids the light binding, but not going to be able to avoid the rock going into the back of his skull. And that is going to lock down the kill onto the substitute Sylas here in the mid lane. Sponge comes over. I like the little headbutt to avoid being seismically shoved.
Also have continuously roaming Renekton, which I actually really appreciate. Because in the 1v1 at this point, you can't really dive. The GP has too much damage. So instead, we see that Doll is using his continuous prio to make his way towards the bottom half of the map and try and ensure that if there's any skirmish, that it will still go the way of T1. And right now, T1 overall looking great. We learned last game that we don't know how much that is going to mean, but there's no Fiora this time around. And GP, good as he is, does have a very high skill floor, as in the difference between a GP being useful and not useful is monumental. And I have some faith in Clear, but you don't get that much leeway when playing into specifically the Lux K. So good luck to Clear on that one. Would love to hear what the amount of gold is that he has already made from First Strike. Again, want to reiterate,
he's 250 gold ahead right now.
Yeah.
And 30 CS down with the same scoreline.
Yes.
So I would go with a decent amount.
There's also his passive, right? So it makes it extra egregious. But once Quick Blades is done, like that That damage is not going to feel very fair. Doesn't have his ultimate right now, though, so is definitely diveable.
Yep.
Whereas I don't
oranges.
know if that's the same for Bay, because Bay is Talia. Will make his way out. Pleda trying to get first turret blood here. Should be able to get it.
Yeah, it should be. Forest going to move up, but that's only a couple more bullets, and Pleda even has the luxury of killing a few more of these creeps before securing it. So, bit of gold in the pockets of DRX. Light Binding, not going to find it. But Dal being able to get this turret is actually kind of huge, because making sure that the gangplank is in a long lane definitely feels good, as Forest, with Dal alongside him, going to start off this second Rift Herald. So things pretty chill on the Rift right now. 38 seconds on the first Hextech Drake, which I think is going to be important for both of these teams. Like, you cannot let Smash get a Hextech Soul. No. I don't think. I think that is that's probably game over at that point.
It's both Talia and Caitlyn with that buff are disgusting, and so are Gangplank and even Jin. So I don't think either team's going to feel too good here. This is a better game for the build that Plata's currently going for, which is nice. There is still a considerable amount of tankiness opposite him, but not quite as egregious, I would say, as in the previous game. As Yundo, our MVP, coming in with first strike gold in a second.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Very exciting. As a mid lane turret now going to fall as well. This is the, yeah, already 285. This is, he's like a kill worth of gold, and
yep.
He's a scaling.
And that's just from first strike. And
that's
he
not
also
ignoring
makes
his passive.
Yeah, just from his passive.
Yeah.
All right, I think Dal probably wins these guys. Can trial by fire actually work out here? As Clear's going to need to eat a lot of oranges, and he does not have enough.
You don't have quick blades. Why would you fight just before your spike? I don't know.
I don't think he wanted to.
No,
I think he just thought that he was never going to get out.
I think he was trying to me it looked like he was trying to set up a trap there. But we might get a better view of it in the replay. Is Starlit.
All right, Chain going to miss there as the flash does come through from bot. Definitely good news. Final spark, not going to connect. Losing Singularity goes down. Starlet's sort of been trying to be useful, hasn't found too many avenues into this game just yet, outside of that early game. And T1 will be able to get the first Drake here. Sorry, the first Hextech Drake, which is fantastic for them. So far, everything just going exactly the way T1 wanted
just
to.
was caught off guard, and then tries his best to get a 1v1 going, but even with quick blades, I don't think you win at this point in the game. You're really looking at getting a third item as well if you want to match the Renekton. And that was not the case. So it just goes down, and now the game state is getting rapidly worse, and it's looking much more likely that T1 will be able to actually cash in on this lead with a actual Infinity Edge Caitlyn second. We don't see this often. Love to see it. And their 2-item power spikes are, like, frankly, disgusting, right? Like, we have Bay gonna hit. Sure, in terms of damage, not the most impressive, but Crown and Seraphs. We're gonna have Dahl with what is looking like a Starix second, which we haven't actually seen in quite a while. And I prefer Starix third, but you don't really need the armor shred, so still going to be very high value here for the fights. And then Caitlyn, which is self-explanatory. So contesting anything when you're DRX is a nightmare. And I don't know how they will do it at all. And I don't know if they can. And by the time that they can, game might be over.
Yeah. 10 stacks now on the Rod of Ages. Starlet gets to level 13 off that one. Very interesting. Oftentimes you'll see the mid laner get to level 15 off a stacked up Rod of Ages, but I think the Rod of Ages was earlier because of those the kill and assist. All right, Pleta's going to try and get out of this one. Seismic Shot needs to be flashed as Forest in a bit of trouble as Clear and Sponge are going to turn up. Barrels starting to come through here. Forest goes down first. And now into the backline goes Starlet. He pops his Dominus, and so does Dowlers. Okay, can we land these bullets? The first two go wide. The other one is just into a Crocodile as now Starlet is fighting Smash. Oh, the deadly flourish! It's going to lock down the killers now. Dowlers looking for another one. He gets it, but it is messy, and it is even in the end.
And when you're behind, an even trade is one. You're going to take Plata with a beautiful snipe. And yeah, Clear is, he's on 2 items. Like, it's 20 minutes in, and he's doing these amounts of damage in a team fight. He got himself a kill there as well.
Yeah.
The only saving grace is that...
Man, Bay knew that he had to flash that.
Yeah. And this is, as we've said before, this is Forest. Good or bad. The real problem is that the rest of the team kind of gets baited in here in trying to save him. If you let Forest die, you're fine, right? Like, it's just your Vi. There's no objective. You're okay. But instead, they get caught in this extended skirmish. We're seeing the value of Starlit with this stolen Renekton ult as silent. It's not quite gnarled, but it's still insanely strong. Then Plata getting the snipe. Clear starting off with an early kill there as well. And
I'm glad that you didn't take note of Piero.
Oh, I have stopped watching Piero for a while now.
He had a bit of a roughie. Oh no, now we have to watch him. He's really dead.
Piero is having the game that we've all had, and if you're saying you haven't, you're lying.
Yeah, you are.
We all know you have.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just not your game. It's just not your day. This should be Baron, although they are flipping it, which I don't love. There is also a Gangplank ultimate.
Yeah, chains are going to connect here. That's a lot of damage onto Dal.
I think you peel off.
Yeah, Clear is going to just move on over. He is going to take a headshot, but just eats oranges. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Eats headshot, had bone plating as well.
Oh, that was so sick! They managed to get the catch. Dal taking a lot of damage here as well, and there it is. The slice going to be enough there. And is this just going to be Baron for DRX?
No.
Surely not, Chronicler.
No.
Surely this would be far too challenges for my challenges broadcast. Oh dear, Bay is going to jump off his wall. Forest now in a bit of trouble. Oh, Death's Daughter is exactly that. Oh my god, the damage from this Gangplank is insane.
Smash.
Piero's going to die, but does that matter? Not entirely sure, as Bay taking way too much damage. There is the Baron being taken, and Smash, while he's not going to get stunned by the Deadly Flourish, I think he may get killed by the entirety of DRX, as they may not be able to dive, and so they won't.
Okay, so Smash's positioning impeccable, and I think Pierre actually saved that fight, because the reason why Bay went off his wall is because he was damaged by the W from Karma. So that's why he wasn't able to get into the pit. So let's take a look at this. First, I agree, like a beautiful call. Sponge, man. They actually got sponged. They got well done.
Severely sponged.
They got sponged so hard, bro. And then this is where everything is looking great. Right, we're setting up for Baron, but then this is still risky because there is still a considerable amount of power, and the monster-fed Caitlyn is there. If Bay can actually make his way into this pit, or like he'd like to be at least a little bit closer, that might be the game-ending play.
Oh, okay. Starlet collects himself a Dominus. It's actually a great ultimate for him to have right here. Is not going to secure the Drake, so we're going to even those out. DRX haven't been able to use their Baron for too much. Still, only that first Turret Blood going over to them. So getting into these side lanes and making things happen for the next minute and a half is going to be important to get that gold back. As you can see, already 2.3k Baron power play.
Lord Doms is done. Or not Lord Doms, sorry, new Lord Doms, which is just Mortal Reminder. Because that's what it does now. It has the armor pen back.
Yeah.
God, oh no.
Oh no. Bort is just, he's jealous. He's jealous of Piero and the amount of feeding he's doing. He's like, anything you can do, I can do better. As Forest is going to get found here towards the side. Starlet kind of by himself, but he does have a Zhonya's. The rest of his team's going to dive on forward, and there's the Gangplank value once again. Dow's going to get snared. There's the flash out from Sponge. As Clear is in a side lane.
He's chilling. He's vibing. He doesn't care. He's going to get himself a turret.
Gangplank's the best champion in the game. I kind of love this.
The Gangplank Jhin actually is such a sick combo. Like, we meme about it, but it's actually working really well.
It's working really well. And they're now playing a 4-1 style of composition.
Maybe now we remember that GP exists and we can start picking him again. I love this champion. He's so dumb. Look at that.
We're
24 minutes into the game.
Maybe Nogari's coming out of retirement. He's coming out of retirement.
Give me that gold toggle.
First strike GP? Yes, please.
We know, like, Zeus, for example, has a monstrous GP.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of GP players.
Kingan's
best champion was GP like 3 years ago.
Yeah, this is on Vision. Very sad affair. Cancel with the W into immediate ult. And then you might think that Starlet is the one that, you know, goes over enthusiastic here, but he has Renekton ult and he has a stopwatch, so he truly does not care. He doesn't care at all. Sponge, I think was out of range, but didn't want to risk it on the Talia seismic shove, so instead opts out as, yeah, I know who I'm voting for.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah. If T1 wins, is it okay to give your vote to Dal? Probably. I'm just going to put my top vote in now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, mine's already there.
I wouldn't even hate it. I know we're memeing about Jin a lot, but like Plata actually has played two extremely clean Jin games.
I mean, he might be the reason why I think that it's okay to pick Jin in like a spot during the LCK, and then like for those people that don't watch the Challenger broadcast, they're going to be really confused. They're like, what happened to Atlas? Like, hey, where did his brain go?
Lux Relux, you don't get it. Come on, that's not the vibe that we're going for here. This is Challengers. These players are going to make mistakes.
Yeah,
that's the point. They're learning. They're developing.
Indeed. And also, how can you throw a game that you're losing? You can't, because you can only throw a game that you're winning.
Glad I knew.
So yeah, just a bit of a stupid comment, really. Anyway, we were all making mistakes watching this instead of touching grass. Denunciator, it's not true, you know? Maybe it's cold outside. Stuff like that.
Depends on where you live, yeah.
You can always touch grass in the morning or in the afternoon after Challenger. Or before Challenger. Totally fine.
What item is Clay going to go next?
I think he can basically buy whatever he wants.
Well, he has a crit cloak, so we know crit's involved.
Yeah.
He's going to go like Collector. I'm not kidding.
BT? Maybe he actually finally builds a Mythic. What Mythic do you build on G-Play?
You can go Shield Blow. Yeah, Shield Blow's great. Probably Shield Blow
would be fine. I think you'd probably want to get some of your Mythic passives online now.
Yeah, I like the Mythic actually. I wouldn't hate just going for Prowlers.
Oh yes.
Prowler, like the only person that you don't one tap down is Forest. Unlike even Forest, you don't really care about, but like base Smash Bout will all get one tap by you if you go Prowlers. But it's not gonna.
I'm very into Prowlers.
Which type?
The Claw. The Claw type. And Nidalee. She's a bit of a Prowler.
Understandably, yeah.
Is Nidalee's passive something to do with prowling still? There was someone has a prowl passive. I think it was Nidalee. I can't remember.
This Renekton champ for sure is useful.
No,
it's 2023.
No,
we're past Renekton hating, right? It will be Collector.
Druid Stealth in World of Warcraft is Prowl.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking about. That's why my... Okay. Never mind. Still looks like Nidalee, right?
Sure.
Kugler. Stupid because you get double amp from Prowl Active plus Navary, so your passive burns for like 500 plus damage. Holy
crap. It's really dumb. I mean, the lethality, the lethality on Prowlers is actually really dumb as well. Also,
okay, well, the curtains have been set up as already a lot of damage there from Bay, and yeah, one more time Piero is going to go down, but this is a big old ulti from the Gangplank. That is going to mean that Forest is also going to fall, and now Dal just trying to do the best he can as, in comes Clear. Can he get these barrels to work? That chain was almost good, but didn't quite get there. As these barrels not working, as Smash is looking for it, the headshot, and he'll manage to pick up the kill. Dal's going to go down as well as now Starlet. He's still alive. Oh, that chain does not land, and now Pleta wanting to find some more. But being in range of Smash is so scary, and now
Smash is
Bay
so good.
Wrapping around, and Starlet. Yeah, that is not going to be it.
Oh, Smash is so good.
That was actually beautifully played, and now they should be able to take a Baron.
That's
who was that guy?
That's Challengers
talking
right
about
there,
the
baby.
T1 thrower.
Yeah.
Because you can actually throw if you're ahead, and DRX were ahead.
Clear actually up until that point doing a great job, then missed a barrel chain, and then they lost the fight, which is somewhat of a problem that you can run into with GP. So they lose the Baron, and this should be a clear sign to anyone involved. This is Challengers, baby. We don't know who's going to win. We don't know what's going to happen. We're just trying to hang on together.
Yeah. Well, Clear does have TP, the GP TP.
The GP TP?
It is there.
There is also the gates.
Indeed.
The gates. Remember the gates? Remember?
Are we just going to fight with it? I mean, they have to. They have to.
Trick 2G with the gates.
The gates.
Trick 2G, yeah. It's like he called the inhibitors the gates.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Trick 2G, the Udyr player.
No, I do know who Trick 2G is.
Yeah.
I just didn't know that he called them the gates.
He did. Well, there you go.
The more you know about Trick 2G, the better life is. As Bay's going to take a blue buff, that's pretty cool. And now DRX is going to try to defend this. This is going to be really, really difficult for them to collect as Final Spark comes in. That is going to be the Dragon secured by a crit from the Caitlyn. And that GP ulti is not getting the value that they really want. And the slice comes through from Dal. He'll be fine there as Sponge takes an ace in the hole. Oh, no, never mind. It was Clear that took the ace in the hole for most of his health. Collector
So
now completed here from Clear.
How is DRX still up gold? I'm
Gangplank.
well, it's standing gold and gangplank and double first strike, I guess. Should be the end of the push here, at least in mid. We'll be able to rotate up towards the top side of the map. But want to reiterate again, if Clear hits a barrel on the backline, they win the fight. And if they don't kill Smash, then T1 wins the fight 100%. So these fights are going to be extremely binary here.
Well, that's a light binding. Clear's going to eat some oranges, but still takes a fair bit of damage. Can't really be doing that. The siege from this composition is just beautiful. Weaver's Wall going to be coming up relatively soon, and look at this. This is how you use a Baron with a Caitlyn. Because, yeah, it's very, very difficult for DRX to stop this with their range disadvantage. And this is what we were talking about this composition being difficult to play if you're not in control.
Talia is such a nuisance as well. It takes away a lot of hard engage possibilities.
That fadeaway was a bit interesting, but doesn't actually get too much done there on Sponge's side. Player running real quick, but I just, like, they can't even kill these siege minions. Finally, they managed to get over there.
Player has ultimate available.
Yeah. Cannon Barrage also there. There's Bait. Yep, just going to Weaver's Wall. That eliminates that turret. Can they defend the inhibitor? They might be able to do something here, but it'll take a full commit to try and get there. As okay, in goes Starlet, straight towards that backline to Smash. He's going to be able to walk it out. Sponge doing a fair bit of work here, and look at the damage from Clear. It's kind of insane as he just dies. Ace in the hole paired up with some rocks being thrown out. What was that, Planner? Okay.
That's game.
It wasn't good, but it was a lot of moving around and stuff. Okay, that is game though, and T1 will bring us to a game number 3.
Oh, if he gets the kills there, they just win the game. But he didn't, so they lose the game.
Well, unless Starlet can do something, well, not by stealing one of those.
Not happening. Well, at least the vote's easy this time around.
Yep, that is true. And I'm just gonna have to cross that one out.
You didn't even vote for top. You did in the wrong.
I voted for 2. I voted for game 2. It was all about that game number 2. It's all right. Yeah,
that's challengers, baby.
The T1 victory, double AD votes for us. And yeah.
Hey, look.
I really liked the GP.
We thought they were going to get sponged, but they got smashed.
They did get smashed instead of sponged.
Yeah.
And yeah. DRX had their little moment, though, as you can see.
We both saw why Gangplank is good and why Gangplank is hard in the same game.
We did. And I was a bit disappointed because I think of Clear as one of our good Gangplanks, but...
Well, it's a very hard champion.
You
like
also
I said,
have to navigate a team fight composition like the one T1 had.
It's very binary. Like you can't get hit by any... Well, you can get by something once, right? Because you have W, but like you can't get hit by anything. It's very binary, and if you don't hit your barrels, you don't do anything. So I don't really want to go in too hard on Clear when DRX already was in a position where they should have kind of lost the game because Piero really struggling in that one. And we saw the draft from T1, particularly the Talia, I think, was a really big mitigating factor as to why they could never get on this fat Kate. Smash also played it smashingly.
Yeah. Smash played very well. And also, he was allowed to play Caitlyn.
Well, okay, yes, but like, would you rather give a challenger team Maokai or Elise?
Elise, yeah. You can give Elise.
I don't think you can give Elise.
You can absolutely give Elise.
We have seen in challenges what happens. Like
Caitlyn doesn't need Elise to do Elise things to the lane.
Well, I know, but already with just as unsurprisingly, Smash is just too good, man. So
and he's now 4-1 on the champion. It was his first loss in game number 1.
And even there he got monstrously fat. So I agree with you, but to me, Elise is like it's just as bad in challengers, not in the LCK, but in challengers because Elise punishes mistakes better than a lot of other champions, and this is challengers. So like she's gonna get fed and get like 5 kills in the first 10 minutes.
I think you can just follow the same logic. If Caitlyn playing team, ban Caitlyn.
Okay, but the same for Elise. That's the problem. Blue side's doomed. Oh no, sorry, red side's doomed.
It's higher on the priority list. The Caitlyn's higher on the priority list. For teams that can play her, and for teams that have proven that they can play her well.
I really don't know. I think it's tough. I think that there is no good answer, and just don't lose, and just always be
maybe just like ban Garen and all sorts of random
and
stuff,
then, so you
and
can
then
get
hopefully get two really good things on the other side.
Well, maybe you have to.
Yeah, just
because,
ban
like,
Ashe, the only ban that you really need to worry about.
Well, that's the problem. It's like right now with how the game is balanced on the current patch, it feels like teams are trolling in draft no matter what they do. Yeah. Particularly on the red side. It's like, man, how could you give them Caitlyn Lux, right? And like, well, I agree, but if they got like Elise, Lucian or Elise Draven, you're also going to be like.
And they did manage to win against the Caitlyn, or at least clears Fiora.
I was kind of with you on that one though. That was more them finding a way somehow.
Yeah, a bit of a yikesy situation, but T1 are going to have to win another one if they want to come back in this series. We're going to go to a short break. When we get back, the deciding game number 3. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK Challenger 2023 Spring. I'm Altus, this is Chroniclier, and we're here to do some more commentary of this series that is continuing. There is one more game, and one of these teams will win.
Yes. Or will they?
Well,
or will we be the winners? The real winners all along, because we get to watch...
I wanted to try it.
I was ramping up to something beautiful, Atlas, and now it's
gone. Keep ramping, dude.
No, it's gone forever. Like tears in rain.
They're not gone forever. They're just mixed up in the rain.
Are you not a Blade Runner fan?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
But that is wrong.
It's not wrong. It's the Blade Runner. It's like... It's
still wrong. The tears are still there. It's hard to find them.
It is a metaphorical statement, Atlas. It's meant to be an allegory. It's not meant to be literal. Of course, the physical rain is still there.
As is the physical tears.
Yes. Obviously, but that's not the point. You can't know which one is which. Like crying in the shower. No one can ever know. Doesn't mean you're not doing it.
Doesn't mean the tears aren't there.
Exactly.
They are there. They're still there. All right. So Gangplank was not the issue in the last game. Discuss.
But Gangplank was fine. Cluedus didn't have the best game, but the real issue was
Jin, though. Jin is good, says
making a lot of mistakes. Jin was fine in both of these two games. Jin was not the problem. If anything, we're being distracted and Karma was the problem all along. I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I mean, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has always been the problem.
Yeah.
Are you at the studio with the players? No, we're not. We're in a different place. Stay tabbed back in, as we can see.
Who's observer for LCK Challengers? Is it Jonas Strong? No, it's Yundo.
It's Yundo.
Our good friend Yundo, who is working very hard.
The man, the myth, the maverick. Helps with us.
Is he a maverick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could see him being. He is kind of a maverick,
He's got a bit of a maverick
No,
vibe.
he's got a bit of a wild streak.
He definitely seems like a bit of a maverick while he's driving his souped-up car. Know what I'm saying?
You're right.
It's pale blue for the added masculinity.
I do love baby type colors. That's what we call them in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's a baby blue.
Do you know
a
about
baby blue.
I mean, I don't think you would, but in the Netherlands we have a tradition where once a baby gets born, you eat a tiny. It's kind of a cracker, but not really. It's called beschuit.
What?
Yeah, it's like a biscuit, kind of, but it's like a very crispy biscuit with a little anise. It's like an anise seed-like topping. It's very sweet. It's like anise candy, very tiny.
So like
and they're called mouses, like little mouses. Yeah, you can get them in blue and in white and in pink.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some bans that came through. That Caitlyn that we were asking for, now the DRX are on the blue side, they do get to ban that one away.
Yay!
The same ban tax has been put forth on the red side. T1 just picking up where DRX left off in the other two games. And they'll ban Renekton and the Varus. Sejuani snapped up first. Priority pick there.
Very nice.
Yeah, you'll love to see
Sejuani
that.
Early. Oh, yes, Lucianami. Oh, Zeri Lulu. Let's do it.
Yeah, so probably the Lucianami.
So, are you happy now, Atlas?
And then the Vi will be picked up third.
Are you happy now?
What?
We got the Caitlyn ban. Is this what you wanted?
Oh, it's better than Jin. Absolutely. 100%. I actually think that Zeri Lulu Lucianami now is kind of interesting because it can go either way. It's not like severely one-sided. It is, you know, as far as like game states and stuff like that are concerned, it's a little bit boring, but I do like the fact that there is a reason why you would pick Zeri Lulu into the Lucianami.
Who's this new Atlas? Full of nuance?
No, this has been my opinion for quite some time now.
Oh, you haven't told me.
I have. You just maybe weren't listening.
I always listen to you, Atlas. I might not always remember everything. Yeah, this guy is indeed Dutch. If you weren't sure, we can do a cast somewhere today with the Dutch accent for authenticity. This is what I sounded like when I started my English casting in the Netherlands. Truthfully. No, it's not.
Toothfully?
Yeah, truthfully.
It was full of teeth.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't talk to me about teeth, Atlas. You know I got a whole thing about dentists and stuff. I don't want to get in on that.
We don't know. The casters don't really dislike Jin. We only like Jin when he's picked. We only dislike him, sorry, when he's picked. I have
no issue with Jin at all. I'm not on board with this. So it is going to be Victor, which... Now we're back on the beaten path, man. Now we're back to this. It's going to be Cassante into Gnar.
No,
it's going to be Cassante into Gnar. It should be Jax, but nope, it's Cassante into Gnar. Or maybe it's Jax.
Is it?
Oh, I mean, Fiora's better.
I mean, you can pick any champion ever.
So T1's going to... No. Just go Gwen, please. That's fine.
And Jax is fine. Jax is way better. Oh my god. Why pick Cassante?
I don't know. Because you don't want to blind Jax?
Well, like, blind anything else. Wow. Well, these are some drafts.
I had more fun in the I know I had more fun in the previous games, Atlas. This is worse.
I mean, at least we get to just, we can go home because these drafts do just cast themselves.
They do.
Like, everyone knows. Like, we can actually just put on a recording of the last time these exact
Well,
drafts
we already
happened.
are a recording.
Yeah, I know,
Well,
but we
I
just
don't know,
changed the
actually.
recording.
I don't know. Who are these guys who talks so cringe? Good question. You wanna enlighten them, Atlas?
Do you understand that so cringe doesn't make any sense at all?
No.
You can say that something is cringe-worthy or that something makes you cringe, but something cannot be cringe.
Well,
It's
I
just
don't know.
cringe, guys, when you say
Flaming
that.
people in YouTube chat seems pretty cringe to me.
Well, no. It makes you cringe.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, looking at these overall drafts, they're not very interesting. But the game can go any way. We've seen a variation of these drafts over the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, this is just
Pretty-
the most boring.
Substantial, yeah, pretty consistently.
Yep, and we've seen that the Zeri Lulu can actually work out in the laning phase quite nicely.
Level
Early
6
game,
is big, and then you have
yeah,
Lucianami,
the one-item
level 1
spikes
spike.
for both of them
Woo!
is very, very
Yeah,
strong.
Mandate, Kill Force, and then
Yeah,
you have mid. Azir can shuffle in Victor. That's cool.
Yeah.
He can like good ganks because you know Victor only has 1 flash, but there's much shorter cooldown on cease and desist and
Yeah,
and divide. So
the Emperor's Divide.
yeah.
Let's rock out, guys.
환영합니다.
You guys might have thought that we weren't going to do because we were feeling a little bit down
We
because
always
of the
do.
boringness of these drafts, but
Don't you worry.
we are absolutely
It might be time for the first true podcast game. That's actually what this. We should see this as an
No,
opportunity.
I think that
Atlas.
we need to very seriously
Don't do this.
analyze
Don't do this to
these compositions.
Okay, I am willing to do this.
Uh-huh.
I'm willing to accept your proposal on one condition.
Uh-huh.
We change roles this game.
No.
Okay, well then I'm not doing it.
All right.
Okay,
You do what you want. I'm just going to commentate the game.
I can't go off the rails alone, Atlas. If we go off the rails together, it's an adventure. If
No.
I go off the rails alone, I'm just weird.
You can just have your little minecart and you can just choose the other path. It's fine.
Like in Donkey Kong
Yeah,
Country.
like in Donkey Kong Country. You'll be
But-
totally. I don't think you can actually do that in Donkey Kong Country. If you're playing
Maybe in
cooperative.
Tropical Freeze.
I
You have
think
the
you
two-player modes, no?
Yeah, you could potentially be in different minecarts.
Hey, Chronicler Fanboy. Oh, I don't know if that's genuine or not, but if it is, thank you very much. Did Faker get subbed out? Yes. Faker is on Chovy's alpaca farm. No, camel farm in New Zealand.
Camel Farm in New Zealand, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where he moonlights when the LCK isn't happening. Because he likes the weather. You can understand it.
Very friendly people as well. Good facilities overall in New Zealand.
Yep, there's a reason why Chovy chose it. For his place to raise his camels. So we know exactly how all of these lanes generally go. Right now, the Nara into Cassante is much better than it used to be, and it was already one of those picks that is often picked into Cassante. Teamfight-wise, the Nara is going to be very happy. Here in the mid lane, Tab. Yeah, I mean, you'll lane okay, but he should be pretty susceptible if T1 get any control in the jungle position. Tab was a bit of a fan of good old Victor for quite some time. I believe actually when he got a POG with his sub-in victory for DRX,
He did.
he was playing Victor.
Great memory. There we go. So trustworthy, Atlas.
Is Trevi's alpaca farm in Chile? I thought it was in Tasmania.
No, that's not Chovy's fault.
Oh, that was Deft's farm. So
Yeah.
Trevi has a competing alpaca farm in Chile?
I could see that.
Whoa.
You can't let Deft. Yeah, I mean Deft obviously has like great brand recognition in the field of alpacas, but
Yeah.
can't let that hold you back from trying to.
Yeah, you can't let him monopolize it.
Well, no, you got to try and fight for your dreams.
True.
You know, even though the odds may be stacked against you, and you're going up against a truly global icon.
Yeah, and a
for
lexicon,
alpacas.
it's a different farm. There's a camel farm in New Zealand, and it's a Tasmanian alpaca farm that Deft has.
Yes, they're very different.
Yeah, entirely different situation. As we can see, the Zeri doing very well. Made it to level 3, went for that back timing. I'm just going to be trudging towards the shield bow. Sponge, just making a little bit of a loop, and we'll be able to collect a Rift Scuttler.
So what is the exact meaning of trudging? Because I always took it as like walking, as if with heavy weight.
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah, like
Or
kind
tiredly.
of, yeah, like you're weighed down by something.
Yeah. And it can be emotional, weighed down.
Yeah, or it can be both literal or figurative.
Yeah, it can.
Thank you. Sometimes I need to do a bit of a check.
Grumpy, depressed walking. A lexicon, yeah, I can see that.
During the LEC semifinals last night, they spent more time talking about Carrier than they did. Well, I mean, we all want to just always talk about Carrier, right? I think that's a pretty normal thing to do.
Yeah,
personally.
I don't think you could blame anyone for wanting to talk about Carrier.
It's been true for what, like 3 years now?
Yeah.
I think it just makes sense. It's good entertainment.
Oh, what champs would we like to see in the meta, and what's been the meta that they've enjoyed the most?
So my favorite pro meta is a little tough. I don't actually know from the top of my head. Probably like season 3 to 5.
I like
That's a bit of nostalgia as well, but
whenever Fizz mid was being played, I really enjoyed that.
But my
That was
favorite
like
champion,
2013.
my favorite champion in the game is Talia. So I'm actually eating pretty well right now. My favorite moment was when D Plus or back down Dom 1 just was flexing Talia every game.
Yeah,
That was for like a
fun
few
one.
weeks. That was great. But yeah, Talia's my favorite champion, and she's pretty alright in the current meta. She's where she should be. She's a great counter pick in the right situation, which means that she's not going to get like nice.
Just flashing
Flash
after smash
cancel.
here.
Wow, I should get them Drake, the very least. Extremely aggressive. Wow, get another cancel as well.
Piero is
Ooh.
mad, man. He got like
This
he
is
went 0-8 in the last game. He's got something to prove now. That's pretty hectic. Now just going to Whimsy his way over here. Forrest going to get the bad news that this one's being started up, but Piero is there with a polymorph in hand. Glitterland's value there as well. You love to see it. Really good stuff. Satap
Reminder.
eating some honey fruit.
yeah, they can't contest this. Smash is just sitting in
yeah.
lane. Yeah, he got interrupted
Ford
twice.
just went home and then just got Chaos Stormed.
Yeah, now it's no health bar.
Yeah. You need a health bar,
Oh
generally.
god, oh Wolf, that's not the
As-
copy paste that we need.
Oh dear. Lucian
dead.
not necessarily- He's not dead, but
He's fine.
things aren't going all that great as Bay kind of misses the Emperor's Divide. All right. Clear going to be able to utilize the Unstoppable and avoid a Gnar to the head. But still, things pretty cool, calm, and collected on the top side of the map. We'll see whether Clear can sort of defy expectations here with the heavily nerfed Cassante.
Doesn't even need to do that much, he just needs to be a tank. Frankly, at this point, like, I don't want him to get solo kills in lane, I just need him to stand in front of Plata and ult people away that want to hurt his precious Zeri. That's all he needs to do this game.
Oh, I remembered my favorite meta.
Hit me.
My favorite meta was lane swap meta, where you just bought all of the gold for 10 items.
Oh, lane swap meta? Really?
Yeah, yeah, where it's just like Poppy Aurelia sitting under a turret doing nothing all game.
Oh.
Meanwhile, your junglers do nothing but like buy an Oracle's Elixir and wander around.
I feel like you're being facetious.
No.
Good flash there from Satap.
The
Nicely done.
sidestep from Sponge also very nice.
Well done, Satap and Sponge. Good going. Say Sponge a little sad because he's the only melee character because top lane doesn't exist. You might be like, well, what are you talking about, Caster? There's Cassante. Yeah, that's top lane.
Yeah, not real.
Not real.
If only there was a real top lane.
Well, we had the Fiora in game 1.
True.
That existed. Plata might be in some deep trouble here. It does have level 6 and barrier and flash, but don't know if that's going to be enough to outplay this. Bone plating now gone. Not a big wave.
Ooh, Spongius. Looking for an angle, an opportunity, as doesn't even need to find one, as that is just a really dead Bay. First blood goes over to the Victor, and now the dive is on the bottom side as well. Culling going to be used just to lock that one down. And yeah, Pletter is going to die as well. So, an answer on the bottom side of the map. But immediately, first blood was taken.
Okay,
in the mid lane.
that Twitch check count, that's got to be a joke. T1 losing to DRX, Keck W, LCK, rank 1 wash. So that's got to be a joke.
I think
There is no one, someone makes that comment and isn't meaning, right? I want to believe in the goodness of people and their ability to read.
I just love the fact that it's wrong on so many different levels as well. I think it's actually like pretty genius.
It's really good trolling,
yeah.
which is my guess.
Because like that means that they obviously didn't watch the world final as well. It's just really, oh, you love to see it. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Keep that one
I
up.
love Jarvan as well. Yeah, I'm a big
Jarvan.
Jarvan enjoyer.
I think I've had enough of Jarvan, just over the years.
You've been
There's
casting
been
for a lot
enough.
longer than I have.
There's been enough.
I love
with
Jarvan. I
Jarvan
think
everywhere.
he's fun.
I like
he's just
Jarvan
so
support.
Basic.
Jarvan support.
He just does
big
his
fan.
thing. He's like, I am. Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, well, Forest is going to find himself in the wrong part of the forest, everyone. Sponge is going to eat him up. That's a dead Vi. And sometimes you just go where you're not supposed to be. And there was some deforestation done.
I know it's challengers, and generally we don't call a game over very quickly.
Keysun or Life Jarvan support, heck yeah, Wolf, that's a base take.
Wolf is a man of culture.
Although
But
Spirits
this is-
Jarvan was the best, because he
This is
debuted it.
looking fairly doomed. You're 2k gold behind with a Lucianami comp.
Well, Piero comes over. We're just checking out the stopped
He
back.
healed as well. What a gamer.
He is
Piero's he's
gaming.
actually mad.
Oh!
He's actually
because they
matched.
get the flash.
Yeah.
And then immediately he comes down. Forest is baited
Yeah.
to the moon and back.
Yeah.
Oh my, that was like Savage Garden baited.
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that's sick. That was actually so sick. Like, that was like 11 head. You're like, you got 5 head plays, but like this went so many extra levels.
I believe in Challenger's ability. You are a true Challenger fan, my friend, and I command your knowledge of this scene. No game is unthrowable. Definitely true.
Denunciator absolutely correct here, by the way. The only caster whose opinions matter is Atlas, who was the only person who correctly predicted
Atlas
KT top 4.
Our predictions were for the end of the split.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
we don't know what's going to happen. No,
I mean, I'm gonna be wrong,
No,
right? Because KT is probably gonna win the telecom war this week, aren't they?
He didn't. Did you predict? No, you didn't predict
No, I
that.
didn't. I didn't.
I was about to say.
That's a spoiler. As Tidal Wave going to be avoided by everyone. As bought.
Piero, it's a main team. I mean, Piero and Barrel actually do have a lot of things in common with their aggressive plays and their penchant for making a mistake and then repeating it.
Oh, Cloud Soul,
I
baby!
try not to be too negative in the Challenger stream. Everyone in chat is being very nice, and we want to uphold that special and positive vibe that
We just want to promote good and unique League of Legends,
well,
just like this.
Okay, well, not unique, but we do want to build up these players. We do want to give them the support they deserve. And the only reason why it didn't go in, well, you can argue about that, but why I felt like it didn't go insane last year when I did the Challenger co-streams as well was because, you know, you just gotta keep it positive. And thus far, we've been doing great.
Yeah, a lot of positivity. I did, you know, unfortunately say that I thought KT was going to win the telecom war when I predicted actually the opposite of that. So I apologize to any KT fans that thought perhaps I was being enthusiastic towards their team.
No, Wolf is, and he's very upfront about it, which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's a good shout. Yeah, I think at this point, I'm fully bought into KT being good. I don't know what they'll end up though, because
Both for good night. Have a good night.
Both Hanwha and D+ to me are still like very big question marks, where I could see them level up and also not at all.
Yeah.
Over like the next 4 weeks. We'll see. Yeah, it's exciting.
Do you know what's not exciting? Compositions like this.
No.
Do we want to tell people about what we're expecting as the game goes on, or do you think there's just kind of no point?
Is the LCK CL logo award? Yeah, so my guess is that it's like it's a mix. It's a ward and it's a bird spreading its wings before it becomes a cool eagle. So it's like a combination of both the LCK and it also looks a lot like a ward. It's like the feathers, right? From like the spread wings.
Yeah, I kind of like it being a ward. kind of into
I mean,
that.
isn't the like spreading
being-
your wings really cool because it's challengers before they go to the LCK?
Yeah. But also I like the ward because everyone wants to watch so that they can steal the talent and take them to other regions.
Damn! You guys can see I did like a lean back thing there.
Yeah, he did. He leant back.
Very far. I hope you guys can hear my chair creak. That would be unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
The game is happening. Just to make sure that we check in, there is about a 3k gold lead for DRX. They have a Zeri and a Victor all reaching their 1-on in power spike. They have pretty substantial CS leads across the board, and they're feeling good.
The only issue
Yes.
is Cassante exists and may not be as impactful as a Nara in a team fight.
All Cassante needs to do is just slam away Doll every single time. Yeah, I agree. That's it. Just press R on Doll or Forest. That's
you
your
go.
only job. And then you win the fights, generally. With the current game state, it's looking pretty good.
Well, T1's bottom lane need to get themselves back in a good headspace. I think that, you know, Bort's had a few stinkers as far as ultimates are concerned, and they haven't been able to stand up to the pressure here. A lot of it to do with Forest's visits and things like that, but otherwise I think DRX's bottom lane have played the game out pretty well thus far. As, alright,
Don't dive Cassante.
let's dive the Cassante.
Let's not dive Cassante.
He's been nerfed, man.
Let's
You
not
may as well
Cassante.
dive him.
Let's not do it.
I think
Don't do it.
it's a great idea.
Shh, don't do it.
Just do a bit of
No,
that.
don't do it.
Rip Tastosis? Tastosis? What are you talking about? Tastosis still cast together, man. You stop that. They just casted the IM final.
Lucian has a nice Dirk. He's not going to collect. No one's going to Collector. The Dirk, in case you were joking, is actually just a pick that you go for lane. The early
They are
spike it
also
gives
both
you
alive, yeah.
allows you to consistently find a lot better trades. And I personally quite enjoy it. You just sell it later. You don't really build it into anything because Lucians, thank God, don't go Collector anymore. They just go Guild Force into Rapid Fire Cannon, into IE, into Cerildas, and it's quite
Who
good.
gets next kill? We've been asked for a prediction. Prediction is who gets the next kill?
Who gets it?
Yeah.
Pleda.
Pleta gets the next kill?
Pleda or Smash, yeah. I generally going for 80 carries is a safe bet, no? Those are who you're going to try and feed.
Yeah, true. I think...
Yes.
Let's have a look at the game state here. I think it's Satep.
Satep, okay.
That's
Not
what
a bad, not a bad.
I think Satep sort of
Not a bad
accidentally
call.
gets it with a Chaos Storm.
Makes sense.
That's what I think. Where is Faker, Kariria, and Guma?
Well,
Probably practicing?
maybe scrimming.
Yeah?
Not sure.
Doing something other than League of Legends, perhaps? Might be a healthy move. As we've got a bit of a dive happening here as Tidal Wave flies forward. All right, Forest doing a fair bit of work. Chaos Storm is indeed ticking down, and it's Satep that picks up the kill. I'm a god! Hell yeah! In your face, world!
Atlas with the predictive powers gets the right call on the kill. Satep picks it up. Was it with Chaos Storm as well? I'm not sure if it was timed out or if it,
No,
if
it was
the
timed
laser.
out, and he got it with the
Good enough.
with the zap. It was basically what I said though, because Forest just took an entire Chaos Storm worth of damage.
It was yeah. It was also a T1 that the turret was still up. They really took a long time to kill that.
Thanks for stopping by, Wolf. You definitely should take some time for
Bye.
yourself, though. Too
Take
much
care,
League of Legends,
Wolf.
my man.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. We love you. Yep. Oh, look at that. I love how he slow-mo's
Look
a
at
Glacial
this.
Prison.
Oh no, that's not the teleport you want to.
Look at this Chaos Storm.
Oh no.
Oh, no, the last couple of ticks.
Bay.
He didn't get the last couple of ticks.
Bay, no, he TP'd to the turret.
Oh.
That's why he wasn't there, because they took so long to kill the turret, but then when he teleported, they were almost killing the turret. But there's a ward there as well. Bay, no.
Sometimes... Bay.
Sometimes what, Bay?
No, just sometimes. Bay.
Sometimes Bay.
Yeah. You know I used to have a TSM Bay Life shirt?
Really?
Yeah, the oldie.
You?
Yeah, I was a
You're
huge
TS
TSM fan back in the day.
You were a huge TSM fan.
Uh-huh.
Riddle me that.
When it was, because I really liked the old one. Yeah,
Great
some,
choice.
Some
Love
of my
the general.
Some of my favorite
Oh my
streams I
god,
ever
you
watched.
just had
Him
the
and
odd one, and then
Dyrus.
and then you replaced him with Morgan and Umti eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But like, I also really like Chaox. Even Wild Turtle, really enjoyed Wild Turtle. He just had a really good outlook on life, is what it felt like to me. So I was a huge fan. And X Special's also fantastic. He was one of the first pros who followed me, actually.
Aww. All the confessions come out during challengers. Yeah, we are generally kept on our feet by the high-octane gameplay of the LCK. But in challengers, where things are so chaotic all the time that they effectively might as well not be chaos.
That's actually dope. Okay, now I have your attention. Which LCK top is going to get the most solo bolos by splits end?
Top lane?
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's Dundun, but I don't think that's sticking around. Oh, it might be Brodel, actually. I think it'll be Keen.
Yeah, it should be Keen.
Because...
Or maybe not solo bolos.
I feel like Zeus is a better top, but Zeus isn't really the solo bolo top laner.
No, he's not.
Because he doesn't get a lot of resources because, well, owner visits sometimes. But generally...
So it might actually be Birdle by the end.
Keen or Birdle, well, my guess is
yeah. I would say so too.
Because Birdle really is our most aggressive top laner, both as a pro and a con, right? Like we've seen him also, seen it backfire, but he is very happy to take like all-ins. Zeus to me feels like he doesn't want to generally, and when he dies it's more so in gank situations.
Yeah, I think that like, because if you're a player that's playing reserved and intelligently, right, you don't often go for those big plays. But I think Birdle's like feeling himself so much that he'd just go for the play.
Yeah, I'd say it's Keen or Birdle. It's never Doran, because Doran is literally the punching bag for Gen.G. So he does it sometimes, but I think he also knows that that's not his job.
Oh, and
I really
the question is
Doran.
Second to Morgan, obviously.
No.
Because like Morgan's the obvious choice.
No. How do I get LCK tickets as a foreigner in Korea? Through the Interpark website. Yeah. It's a bit of a toughie, but it's definitely possible. We've seen a lot of...
It's doable. And there is a section in English as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yep. No, I'd say, Birdle or Keen make the most sense to me. No, I just want to, you know, defend Doran a little bit.
Something, 2 items in a bit. Something.
Huh?
Pleta does have 2 items and is going to build another one. It's going to be quick plays.
We also have Satap going for an actual damage build, so stars are aligning, Atlas.
For DRX fans, if you're a T1 fan, the stars are misaligning.
Do English cast radios still exist for Lawpoke? Not as far as I'm aware.
No, they don't, unfortunately, Thijs. Like, it's actually something that we've wanted to talk about for quite some time. I think that Papa had managed to get them for like 2019 season, but I think they've gone away again because we didn't have audiences for a couple of years.
COVID, yeah. Are we casting from home? No, we are in the WDG studio,
which is like a home to us.
It's really
therefore,
nice.
We kind of are, but also
in a way
we actually are not. So like, sort of, but no.
Is it cold? No.
No, it's actually quite
very
warm
nice. It's very balmy. We're going to have some dinner after this. It's going to be delicious.
Oh, heck yeah.
Very excited.
Some spicy tofu.
Spicy tofu, yeah. Some Szechuan peppercorns in there.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Oh.
Amazing.
Some natural anesthetic.
Yeah, Plata building towards a quick play. It's very nice.
Casters, are eggs meat?
No. No, they are not meat.
It depends how long you've waited before you've eaten them.
Okay, that's dog. And no, they're not meat.
Yeah, I mean, but sort of.
Not really.
But no. But kind of. But no.
No. Is there good food? There's really good food for vegetarians in Korea, but it can be tough to find. And it also depends, like, are you like full vegetarian? Do you eat fish? There's a lot of kind of conditionals.
This is sort of a fight, as Clear is going to throw away all of his resistances, but isn't going to die. He's looking for even more. Tidal Wave just going to be ran away from, and Clear will be able to escape that. He went all out, and and was all out. And then everyone was all out of there.
Then what are they? Eggs? No, or what are they? Dairy? No, they're just eggs. Like
maybe
they're
just
their
eggs.
own separate
Well,
category.
Pleta's flashing. They're looking for some kills here. It's the polymorph So good on debate. Does get the flash off though, gets underneath the turret as Dal. Mega Gnar available. The DRX playing very aggressively. I really like it.
Really are. Using the power of Zeri, which we don't often see teams kind of shy away from because it is a much more high-risk type of playstyle, but playing that far forward and actually diving with the rest of your Cassante and your Sejuani actually works out quite well if you can buy the space that is necessary. Eating fish is not veggie. Okay, yeah, but there's different...
Yeah, they're pescatarian.
Yeah, it's pescatarian. So it's different. Depends on the language and whatnot, right? If you want to eat fully meatless, you can in Korea, but it can be a little tough. They don't, unless you of course go for barbecue. Generally, I feel like meats are very integrated in the food, so it's hard to take them out of. It's not like they eat huge amounts, but...
That's so cool. We've got pescatarian spelt 3 different ways.
Yeah. Nice.
I don't even know which one's correct, but I just like the fact that there's 3 different spellings.
Which challenger player's name is the most memeable? Sponge.
Plan B.
Oof.
Plan B is so easy.
So there's call me, Plan B, and Sponge are my top 3.
They would be
top of my head.
But I think Plan B is so
Smash.
good.
Now Smash is just a good name. I personally say.
I think
you
Smash
can make
is a good one, yeah.
You can make jokes with it, but to me, the name is too good to be kind of memey.
Yeah. And Fiesta, unfortunately, is he's not here anymore because he's too good.
Fiesta.
Why Live Sandbox not using Plan A? Yeah, Dungwoo not yet.
Dungwoo is Plan B.
Denunciator, yes. I think about the best names often. It is a thing. T1 looking for a Baron. There's only been 4 kills and it's 25 minutes into this game. I feel like I'm not in the game. You know, like how sometimes you're casting and you're like feel really in it.
Yeah.
I feel mostly not in this game.
I don't feel in this game at all.
Yeah.
I feel like we're out.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like we're through the looking glass, man. We're like, okay, hear me out.
We're watching it through a foggy window.
We're in the watchtower, seeing the game in the distance.
Like, I don't even know what this is.
Like, what's
so
happening?
Forrest might die here. Pledder's going to grab that kill. Emperor's Divide is really good from Bay, though, as Dal's throwing rocks at people, and the Zeri will go down. Now Satab's going to flash in, look to see whether he can take down Smash. Should be able to do so, as somehow Satab got the kill onto Azir.
So we're in the lighthouse, okay?
Yeah.
And we're looking through the foggy window.
Yeah.
And it's night, and in the distance we see the ship. And on the ship, the game is being played.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, but it's like through a little window that we can see the game on the ship. Yeah.
Yes.
No, you're right. You're right.
And we can hear Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson losing their mind, and we're just trying to watch the game.
Forrest has promised his friends and family he will never stop going in.
And they're just talking about their beans. And even with a fight as good as this, it says a lot about the game state. Like they literally get a really big combo here, right? Like Zeri basically doesn't get to play the game, and it's effectively a 4 versus 5. Smash is a little bit late to the play, but it doesn't matter. Like DRX is so far ahead.
Satab gets it with like a Leandri's tick or something. It was very funny. Anyway, Satab's pretty huge right now, looking for his Rabidons.
Oh, he
and wants a
maybe
Zhonya's
he can get a
at the same
6-0
time.
game to balance out the 0-6. Looking
there we go.
Quite good right now.
Balanced as all things should be.
Yes.
Quick Blades completed by Pledder.
That's canon, right? No, that's balance in all things.
Balance in all
Balance in all things. That's canon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
빨간 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.
Wow.
It's been such a long time since I've heard the...
I'm not used to Marvel references coming from you.
Me?
Well, I mean, you're a Marvel enjoyer as well.
I watch a bit of I've been known to have observed some of the Marvel
Which
movies.
was the movie we went to together? That was No Way Home, right?
Yeah, I think we may have seen that one together.
Yeah, I think we did. That was fun.
That was a goodie. Do you know what
Was that
movie
in
I enjoyed?
Gwangju?
No, no, I think it was Yongsan, wasn't it?
I don't know. Could be. I don't think it was Yongsan.
I think we wanted to see it in Gwangju, but I don't think we made it there that time. As Cassante is going to try and dash around and actually does quite a lot here. Forrest is dead again, and Clear didn't even go below half health. This Cassante getting work done. Gonna need to get that nerf bat out again, I think, as DRX They're super far ahead this game. They are currently ahead by 6,000 gold. They're going to be able to take this inhibitor down as well. Honestly, T1 just look like they have not really done anything at all this game.
I saw that MLXG copy pasta, huge fan. That's a classic. I had MLXG for the first time when we were in New York.
Did you have it in New York for the first time?
Yeah, I never had it before that.
Wow.
Yeah, Emily Rand took us to this delicious restaurant.
Oh no, I wasn't actually there for that because I've had it so many times back at home.
So good.
But I feel like I should have taken you so many other times to go. Really, we should have ordered that for dinner tonight.
Well, we still get some quality food, so it'll be fine. Yeah, we are hard collapsing on Cassandra, and he did get nerfed specifically when he ults. So now he doesn't have his resistance anymore, but it was after they had thrown everything and the kitchen sink at him, and it was not enough. They needed more kitchen. They needed the oven.
More sinks.
They needed maybe a microwave, and they didn't have any of those.
Well, now everyone's super far ahead. Look at this. Like, I love it when you have a game state like this, and just globally you're winning by so much. It's the support gap that is gigantic. And that's happened in this game very severely. They have done the same amount of damage, but honestly,
what's the best individual tournament? Well, it's more games than tournaments. So my best individual game, the best cast that we've done, that would be for me. That would be the quarterfinal Gen.G D+.
I think they're talking about like a season, like a full season. What's been the best full season?
I don't know. That's a lot harder.
It's a fun question though, because I think it's
the one
easier.
Atlas lost his hair. Yeah, that is also in my. That's in my highlight reel. Full season. Yeah, 2022 summer. That was a banger. Gen.G finally won something. That was cool, and we won Worlds.
Yeah, I think 2022 summer is probably a good one.
Mine.
Spring was when I lost my hair, but I don't think that was my favorite. Mainly for that reason. This is not my
favorite season. Absolutely
This is not my favorite teleport either. Is they're going to go in because they're missing a player. Dal he's coming. He does have his ulti at the ready, and Boris is going to go down.
He's coming over.
Yeah.
He's almost there.
Can he hop any faster is the question. He wants to get to that Mega Gnar. DRX are just pushing minions onto this Nexus. And now the entire team is backed over there as well. And Dal's like, nah, abort mission. I'm getting out of here. I don't want anything to do with this. Empress Divide used defensively as Clear gets a huge shield, but he's still going to go down. Dal will be taken out. The Zeri not actually there to try and set up for this. But honestly, I think that this game was over long before this moment. The last Nexus turret will go down, and DRX will calmly and casually stride towards a victory here in Game 3.
It was a game that was played here on Summoner's Rift, as Valdez and Wolf mentioned yesterday. As the double mid vote. Yeah, I could have maybe thrown a vote towards someone else on the top side.
When a game is like this stale and slow, voting for the victor is absolutely the right call. Although I think actually it should have gone to Piero. Now that I think about it a little bit more, it was the Piero angle.
The bait and the not tilting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Gen.G DRX Summer 20. Oh, that was.
That
was dumb one, right? Oh no, Gen.G DRX was the one where I remember this. Well, then they had to go to a previous patch.
Oh God.
Yeah, did you repress that memory?
Definitely repressed. I didn't repress. What was it? Kesper Cup 2019, where LS and I were casting, and then one of the games. No, one of the games was cancelled, and LS was like, there was a delay for 3 hours, and LS had to go home because his eyes were breaking, and I needed to call Seth, who came to save me on the broadcast at 2 a.m. or something like that. And we casted the last game together. And it was when I was just sitting there by myself. And Sunke came over to me and interviewed me.
That sounds amazing.
While I was there, and he was like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" I'm just like,
wonderful.
I'm just here hanging out with Twitch chat.
Oh, it was Challengers before Challengers was a thing.
No, it was
just you and chat. No, I know.
Well, I mean, yeah, the vibe was definitely there.
Anyone got the MSI pre-sale tickets? No, I haven't tried.
I'm hoping I can get some from Riot.
That would be nice. Yeah,
that would be
ideal.
We'll see how that one goes. That was an incredible series of events, Atlas,
Yeah,
you do recall. I don't know whether it was incredible, but I
think-
definitely, yeah, it was a time that existed.
Yeah, I think my most memorable series watching live, I was... I think we cast that as well. Or was that me with freaking Kobe? The GAM Esports versus Top Esports, man. Or the GAM versus Top. Where GAM like got the comeback and then knocked out Top, but then it turned out it was just a mall bug and the game was horrible for like starting the next day. It's like, oh man, I casted such a cool game, and it was like,
and then
everyone was like,
no,
oh,
actually it was just a bug and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was actually so sad because it was such an epic moment.
It was so cool.
But I actually still think that, it was an epic moment again.
It still was, yeah.
Which LCK team has the best social media / content? That's a good question. Maybe.
So Bro's content is genuinely really good. It's probably T1 though.
I mean, T1 has the most. I think D+
It's not
improved this year.
Yeah, D+ got a lot better. It's not KT. It's not Hanwha.
No. Live Sandbox is kind of okay, but also kind of not.
Well, no, okay. So I wanna Live Sandbox. Hey, got
Pierre
it!
gets it. Oh, we tried our best to ruin it, but
no, this is
sometimes you cannot
this is the right
stop
call.
Justice from occurring.
Oh, I love it.
No, that's actually fantastic.
I love it. Good for you, Piero. What a vengeance game.
Yeah,
oh,
Ian cast kicked W, but saved.
Yes.
Saved, am I right?
Saved by the
100%
Korean cast.
saved.
Well done, Korean cast. Big fan.
Man, look at Pierre is judging me right now. I can see it in his eyes.
Because we didn't vote for him, and we should be ashamed of ourselves.
I am ashamed of myself.
So Sandbox, actually, they got a new sponsorship, and it's Cool Kids Never Panic About Skin, because they got a sponsorship with a dermatologist.
That's actually dope.
And it's just like the 5 of them standing awkwardly in a line with 2 dermatologists side by side, and then that was the caption. Like, that isn't...
I mean, honestly, that's pretty dope. That is pretty dope.
And DRX's content, in particular their content that they had around last year's Worlds was incredible. Like, was actually so good. Actually being able to see the whole
stepped it up there, yeah.
journey that they went through was wild.
And also seeing a team that hasn't had great social media and coverage like that step up when it's actually important to do so, that's actually pretty cool.
It's really impactful as well. And you might be wondering, why are we still on this? Well, because after Challengers, there's usually an interview, but we don't get the interview.
Right now. And now we get to spend time with you guys.
It's time for C4.
Yeah.
Caster, community, and chat corner, where we talk about our feelings, where we talk about your feelings. We don't have actual callers in, but this is kind of the same vibe as a call-in show.
Yeah, it is. So if you've got any questions, like you have throughout the games, especially that last game, which wasn't exactly... all that interesting. Denunciator wants to know about your bread.
I have been making bread. It's just the same, like 30-40% whole wheat, and then the rest just normal bread flour.
Hey, Atlas, which country invented pavlova? I'm glad you asked. I'm pretty sure it was New Zealand.
Really?
No idea. But I
pavlova sounds...
It might have been something that we stole.
It sounds like Eastern European, no?
It's an Australian one, but we often steal things from New Zealand. So I didn't actually know that. I just assumed that it's New Zealand.
Aussie or NZ. Okay. No one knows which.
It's like Crowded House, the very famous Australian band. Of which,
it's named after a Russian ballerina, but made in New Zealand. There we go.
From New Zealand.
Thank you very much. You remember your first ever major cast?
What does major mean?
Yeah, major. It's a great question, actually. So for me, the one was my first LCK cast. And then my the 2022... No, sorry, 2022 spring cast. Because that was the first one that was like actually in venue with like a huge crowd.
Yeah.
Because 2021 was still kind of COVID-y. So the first one was in Lowell Park, spring. And then summer was like in the venue, but there were no fans. Like when we had all the cool moving parts on the stage. The stage was amazing, but it wasn't the real experience. So that will probably be...
I'm trying to think about mine. Because it might have been 2014 winter, which was like this super epic Legacy versus, I think it was Chiefs at the time, might have been Team Immunity. No, it was Avant. It was before Legacy existed. And it was Avant versus the Chiefs or something like that. And it was like...
I can't believe the Chiefs are still around.
It was a 5-game banger. It was the famous call, like Minky Whale's a huge dragon. Used to love that. And I think that was the series where I got contacted by Jat afterwards, and it was because of that series that I got invited to do the what was it? The promotion tournament for 2015 spring in North America. So
Wow.
it was, yeah, and so Spawn and I got flown over to LA, and it was the first time I'd ever been. And
Jake
it was super
Spawn,
cool.
Tiberian,
Yeah,
you?
the spoons.
Love it.
The spoons. He spends a bit more time in the US than I do these days. But yeah, I think that was probably my biggest series as far as like
Wow.
what built my career.
Yeah. I did quarters at EU Masters. Was it quarters? It might have been, I think it was quarters at EU Masters with Cadril. That was actually my largest cost up until the point where I went to the LCK. Yeah, that was really cool. This was before Cadril was a caster. Because back then, I was like, oh man, I really want to make it to the LCK before we knew there were openings available. And then Cadril was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to be caster, you know, I kind of want to go, maybe want to coach, go back to playing.
Some time.
Yeah, and well, we all know how that one went. So.
I tried to hire that dude a couple of times.
Yeah, and then you ended up with me.
Being hired, no, but like, I think I just ruined Ejim's career forever. Because we invited him to the LCK, and then he couldn't get a visa, and then now it's doing something completely different. Yeah. I think he's happy. I actually spoke to Ejim, Bryce a little while ago, and he was doing fine, well. Just hanging out. He's still in Canberra, I'm pretty sure. Just chilling.
What's the best series you've ever watched in League history? Live would be the EDG DRX quarterfinals, even more so than the finals for me.
I think that quarter was probably,
to me, that was that's like the best.
I still think that my favorite series of all time was Score winning versus Griffin.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I just think that like the feelings from that series were just epic. Couldn't really. Favorite esports caster moment outside of League?
Oh, any Tastosa's moment.
Yeah,
that's easy.
Actually, just any of them.
You can pick one. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
That you know that StarCraft meme with the Korean casters just screaming plague?
Plague.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. That one's high up there as well.
I like that one too.
Love that one.
I also like the old T-gun moment where he didn't see the borrowed Zerglings or something. I don't remember. It was an epic throw. He threw really, really hard, and it was very funny. He was a pro StarCraft player and then became a professional League of Legends player. Good times. I think it might have been. Yeah, it was the Banelings problem. Yeah, the Banelings just like popped up, and he lost his entire.
You know that army was. Yeah, that's another key StarCraft moment.
What does it take to become a caster? I'm really interested and want to know how to start. You just start. There's a lot of odds everywhere, so you just cast over them.
Yeah. It's actually interesting because Atlas and I started in very different eras of League with casting as well, right? So, and also different locations. So if you're in Europe, then there's the ERLs, although the ERL ecosystem is not as good as it was before.
No, we're way before that. So to just start casting, I think you need at least a year of doing just your own stuff. Just practicing.
Well, actually,
because you don't just get off. Like,
I'd say
wake up in the morning and say I want to be a caster, and then cast the ERLs. That's not a thing.
No, not the ERLs, but then I would be like doing like university tournaments. That's local stuff.
But you actually don't need an event to start casting. You just need to start casting. And put it on YouTube if you want to. Record yourself.
That's how Flowers got hired.
And you just, get it on Reddit. But you don't actually need to do that yet because you need to actually have some skills,
which takes like a few years,
and that'll take some time. Maybe not a few years.
The shortest
is
be like a year, I think. If you're insanely talented, like a year, I think is fair. Yeah. For me, it was like 2-3 years before I was like relatively comfortable.
One thing that is quite difficult is doing it by yourself, because I don't think that like solo casting is what turns you into a great commentator.
No.
If you've got a friend who's happy to cast alongside you, then you should definitely convince them to practice with you. Because learning how to converse with another person on broadcast is important.
Chronicler about to find out that Atlas was insanely talented. That's not new information, though. I'm already aware of that, as much as he likes to deny it. No, I casted with actually just one of my good friends. We knew each other from Debate Club, and then we just started casting together because we were both. Well, I mean, we're in Debate Club, so we're huge nerds, but we also played League, so it's like double up.
Yep.
on Nerditch. It was great. Had a really good time.
So I first started casting with a guy called Dale Never Fails, who changed his name to Hot Soggy Noodles. And so
I hate that name.
I was Slappy Baggins at the time. That was my name, and so we were Hot Soggy Baggins. That was our casting duo.
Is that a good note to end on?
I think it's a pretty good note to end on. If you guys want to find out, you can go to my Twitch channel and look at my very first uploads. I think they still exist somehow. So enjoy that. We're going to take a short break and have some lunch, and we'll see you for the second series after. Bye-bye.
빨간 팀의 포탑이 파괴되었습니다.